Well, hello there, everybody. It is a Saturday night. It is the first night. My name is Mercy. Welcome to the channel once again. It is time for the thing that I've been looking forward to for quite some time. Dungeons and Dragons. I will be your humble dungeon master for the night, but let's go ahead and get into just a little bit more. Let's go ahead and meet the players and talk with them. I'm going to swap over the channel here, and we're going to get right into it. Where's my button? There's my button. Here we go. Alrighty. So, let's go ahead and introduce the players for this campaign as we're starting it out here for tonight. I'd like to go ahead and start from the top. As you see the character portraits over there, playing our lovely little kobold named Cobalt is Alan.
Hello.
Hello, hello. Next up, playing Waking Dream, our Tabaxi, is none other than the Tiger Paladin Bengali.
Good evening, everyone.
I'm getting notifications on my phone. I need to mute my phone. Next up, we've got our resident Dragonborn, Blue as well, Mr. Joey Avalon.
Hello, everybody.
And not pictured on screen yet, and for good reason, is the one, the only, Snooky XP.
Hello.
So these are the 4 players getting started in this campaign for everybody, and let's go ahead and, without further ado, because I was a couple minutes late getting everything started, let's jump into some description as soon as I go and realize I need to record this. Now I'm recording. So hello everybody once again. Welcome to session 1. Let's go ahead and jump right into the action. All right. So I've introduced all of my players to you. We've got the 4 different players, and 4 such wills are about to converge. Their souls invisibly tethered to one another. Through unusual forms and complex stories, they will come together to influence this world known as Tethra. For better or worse, we watch their story unfold. Just southwest of the mountains, stretching their spiny stone branches from the proud dwarven city of Doranil, nestled in a large glade known as Vanakari's Cradle, where the stalwart trees surround grasses, fed by the freshly swollen rivers of a bygone winter, lies the burgeoning city of Dialt. A great stone wall in the middle of this glade threatens to spear the trees against the mountains. On the eastern side of this wall stretches a patchwork quilt of farmland, pockmarked with the houses and barns of the families that tend to their earth. On the western side, mimicking the mountains in the northern distance, rise and fall the many pitched rooftops of those who have made business, politics, and religion their accord. In the northwest corner of the wooden city, masked by cobble foundations, guards radiate outward from a large building with a magnificence that seeks to rival that of the wall itself. With a backside corner that settles against the oaks and firs of the surrounding forest, the decision makers in their oaken towers can oversee their growing empire. Below them, in what the locals have termed the box, stay the undesirables. These carefully crafted rooms of steel bars and stone boulders await all who trespass upon Dialt with maliciously selfish intent. Inside, assisted by noisy chains, a guard escorts a new arrival into the cold belly of this place. A blue kobold, prattling of his confusion in time with his rattling chains, comes to face the consequences of his misunderstandings. So here we are. We are in the prison known as the Box. Our wonderful little friend here, the kobold named Cobalt. You are being escorted by a guard that you see behind you on the map here, and he is bringing you into the prison.
Sir, I swear I didn't know I had to pay. Why do you have to pay for food? It's food.
It's food, of course you have to pay for it. Everyone's got to pay for it, plain and simple. I don't know what you're on about. Just get in there. I'm not dealing with this. Go on. And he kind of shoves you through the open door, moving you in. And I need to change my layer. No, I don't. I need to stop panning. Roll 20, folks. Shoves you in, following behind you, and then motions to his left, signaling to the empty cell that you see down below you.
Sir, are you sure that room is sanitary?
Sanitary, he says. He grabs you by the gentle bit of cloth that you're wearing, lifts you up off of the ground, and then proceeds to place you down inside of the cell. Sanitary, he says. Hopefully you learned something while you're in there. Trying to get free food while you're on it. He starts mumbling to himself as he turns and begins to walk away.
Sir! I think somebody peed on the ground here.
You hear the door close behind him.
Ew.
For those in the room as well, we have in the bottom row there, next to the cell, in the middle cell down here on the bottom, why don't you go ahead and, Joey, introduce your character and what they look like.
The name is Kaiser. He's a 6'5" dragonborn, decked out in pretty fancy looking armor, all things considered. And right now he's just kicking back on the bed, sort of sitting on it, but against the wall, arm behind his head, using it as sort of a pillow.
And of course, no armor right now.
Yeah.
Because, you're in prison.
So right now he's just in his basics, his vestments, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
And he hears all the commotion going on over there, so he calls out. So they dragged you in too.
I don't understand why. At the monastery, if you're hungry, you just go and get where there's food and you get food. You don't have to pay for food. It's food.
So not falsely imprisoned like they did with me, huh?
But I don't understand. And this jail cell is not clean. It's really not clean.
Yeah, no, but you'd better get used to it. These guards don't seem to want to listen for anything.
Hearing this conversation, in the further cell, down on the south side, is our good old Tabaxi. Bengali, why don't you go ahead and introduce your character?
What? Oh. Sorry about that. I must have zoned out a little bit. Did we just get someone new here? First time I take it?
That's what it sounds like anyway. Something about food and free.
I think I can put the pieces together. The name's Waking Dream. You can call me Dream if you'd like.
Well, fellow cell person, my name is Kaiser. Hey, new guy, what about you? What do we call you?
So I'm Cobalt.
You sure are.
Now, something to note here, all of the doors leading out for you, you can see that they are barred doors. However, the walls themselves are solid stone. So there is...
So I can't actually see them.
You can't actually see them. But that is important to note that the bars are there, and you can obviously hear them because the sound is easily reverberating and bouncing off of the stone walls so that you can all hear. You can see people directly across from you, and in most of the case, if you get close enough to the bars, you can see the entire opposite side of the prison as well, as long as those people want to make themselves visible. For a little bit of extra context here for you, Waking Dream has been here in the prison now for just about a week, still awaiting something to happen when it comes down to it. Kaiser's been here for about 2 days, and as we just saw, Cobalt has been thrown in just now. So, what would you three like to do?
I've been in here a couple days. Had a couple small conversations with you, Dream. Never asked, what did they throw you in for?
Stepped on the wrong feet.
Someone higher up, huh?
Indeed. They didn't like that I disagreed with them. So here I stand. Or rather lay. And you?
They caught me in the forest hauling some medicines around that I used to help heal a village. They thought it was illegal drugs or smuggling. I'm not quite sure. But the basic gist was they claimed that I shouldn't have had the medicine when it was from my church.
Across the way, in the north central cell, is an older woman. She has gray hair with hints of black in her hair, umber-colored eyes, and a mahogany tone to her skin. For everything that the two of you have seen, she's been here a shorter time than you have, and only here for a day now. But she is noticeably older, somewhere you would gather in her 50s or so. She pipes up when she hears you mention medicines. Ah, yes, medicines. Things that I know very much of. Perhaps there was something mistaken thrown in there, or something additional you were unaware of, but medicine should never be illegal.
No, that I agree with. Shouldn't be arrested for it either, especially since I was just helping the village out. It was a terrible pandemic.
I agree. Helping others is exactly the kind of thing one should do, and being put into a prison for it is certainly not welcomed. The cell furthest over from you, to the right, there's an orcish man that steps forward, and he slams his fist against the bars. Helping others is not important. All you need to worry about in this world is you, yourself, and me. I forget the phrase. Just look out for yourself, that's all I'm saying. Helping others, there ain't no profit in it.
Helping others is its own reward. There's no need for profit to be made from it.
Yeah. The only kind of profit I want, the only kind of reward I want, is the kind that I can feel in between my hands. And he makes a little motion with his fingers, kind of rubbing them together, as if to simulate gold coins rubbing against one another. On the far side, opposite...
You want a reward of fire?
It means money, mate. It's... Man, they must have roughed you up real good, huh? And then down on the opposite side now, there's an elven man, bright red hair, sitting there, and steps forward towards it, and motions out best he can, reaching an arm out through the bars. Now, no need to make fun of people simply because they don't understand your ways and your intentions. Words can be misconstrued, Master Orc. No need to be all pushy about the subject, I suppose. They get into a little bit of a arguing match for a moment, with the orc yelling at the elf, and the elf trying to let it roll off of his back as if nothing is affecting him, which irritates the orc even more. All through that, the lady in the middle just continues to smile and look over to the three of you.
There they go again.
Not the first time they've done this, I take it.
You get used to it after a while, sadly.
It's at this time that food. A guard walks back in, carrying several plates of food, and he shuffles through and haphazardly tosses them down into the small openings that allow a tray to pass through, dropping one at each of the 6 cells and letting food pass around to all of you. Before heading back to the door, laughing to himself, and going to step back out.
Kobold is just staring at it, confused.
It's a small little dish, nothing really fancy. There's a cup of water and a stale old bit of bread on top of it. Nothing fancy at all. Just a very simple, standard prison fare that you would expect. And it doesn't seem like they wanted to splurge for a little bit of protein or anything today.
But the last thing I ate got me thrown in here.
Ironic, isn't it?
Doing the very thing they threw you in for. Yep, that sounds about right.
This is a trap, right?
No,
Unlikely.
it's probably fine.
So the 3 of you can go ahead and have what little sustenance is offered to you. Choking on rice, my apologies.
How
Kaiser,
dare-
before he munches on his, he'll sort of make a cross motion, be like, Kamada, please help get me through this, before he digs in.
Is there anything else the 3 of you would like to do?
Nope, just slowly consume my bread.
Pretty same thing. Kaiser's munching on his food, hoping it doesn't poison him.
Very good. The food is, well, food. But otherwise,
Sort of.
yeah. Otherwise, it is an uneventful day for you. It's very quiet. Nothing else seems to really go on. You make little bits of conversation with the other people if you wish. But outside of that, it's just conversation if you want to have any with amongst yourselves or with your other cellmates.
Oh. What is it that you... Kobold. Kobold. What is
Yes?
it that you do for work?
Well, I'm. What am I here for?
No, what do you do for work?
What's work? I
Oh, you're
I-
fresh out of the monastery then.
well, well, I don't know. Fresh out. I've walked away and outside for the last 7 days.
I'd say that's pretty fresh. Outside the monastery, you typically need something called a profession. And this profession gives you coin, and you use the coin to buy things that you need or want.
Food being one such example.
But Rindesh always provides what one needs.
I'm afraid things work a little bit differently outside the monastery.
That's strange.
At hearing the name Rindesh, the elven man across from the cells that you are currently positioned in, pipes up and steps closer to the bars. Oh, you said Rindesh, little one, I heard, yes?
Yes.
Yes. One of the ancients. Not many know about him. Most follow people such as my god. Specifically, I pray and worship Zelu. Have you heard of Zelu?
I think so, but
Zelu is, as it can closest be, the sun. Zelu is light and justice and honor. He balances the world and sends it out to all of us as best as he can. So there is definitely something that will come my way. Most certainly, balance must be upheld, and I am simply awaiting that balance. I've been here for 2 weeks. I am sure that balance will come soon.
That leads me to a question, then. How long are we expected to be here, usually?
I do not know, truth be told.
Depends on the nature of your crime.
Most times they get a trial of some sort underway, and this is just a temporary holding. But, well, I've been here 2 weeks, and no word on whether or not we're moving forward any faster.
Maybe they were awaiting a full... maybe they were waiting full cells.
Yes. Oh, I don't know if I introduced myself and gave you my name. Did I miss that? I apologize. My name is Gilrai. Gilrai Sunspear. It is a pleasure to meet all of you.
Well met, Gilray.
As a member of the Sun Elves, it is quite rare that we see some of your kind. One of the realized, a cat, I believe, a dragonborn, you are exceptionally rare. And what I can only imagine is a young kobold, yes?
he waves his hand out of the bars so he can wave at him. And in Elvish, he's going to say, yes, yes I am.
Ah. In Elven he responds, very good, a learned one. Quite the challenging tongue it can be. You've got quite the head for these kinds of things, it seems. Good on you.
He'll start prattling on, saying that in the monastery he's learned quite a different number of languages. And in the process of that sentence, he'll say part of it in Common, part in Draconic, part in Dwarven, part in Elvish, and then the last part of it in Sylvan.
Gilrai and the old lady across from you begin to chuckle at the enthusiasm, but have wide beaming smiles nonetheless. The orc just grumbles to himself and punches the wall a few times. And with that,
Kaiser, having heard the part that he spoke in Draconic briefly, will just sort of chuckle to himself and say back in Draconic, it seems you know many languages then.
He'll extend both of his hands out, and 2 claws on one hand and all 3 claws on the other hand. Because I know this many.
which unfortunately, Kaiser, you would struggle to see.
Kaiser
But-
sort of puts his head to the bars to see if he can see it a bit more. He's like, "No, I can't quite see all of it. Sorry, friend."
He's basically, with his, claws. It's only 5, but
And
that's what he's.
the lady across from you, she chuckles and says, "He's holding out 5 fingers, dearie."
Very good. Now that I think about it, forgive my rudeness, but I forgot to ask you three, what did they put the 3 of you in for?
Oh, my. Well, my situation, this is the lady talking, is very curious, and she gets cut off immediately by the orc. I was out bandit-eating, and, they caught me. I guess one too many kills, you know what I mean? Oh, the way they squeal when you get to them. That's fine, it's just a matter of time till I get out of here and do it all again. That's what I'm saying. The lady just shakes her head, sighs a bit. Unwarranted, but I was accused of witchcraft and summoning demons to attack the local area. It's quite a surprise. Caught me by surprise, certainly. And the elven man pipes in. They said something about unauthorized mercenary work. I was simply working in town and doing some mercenary jobs, but I needed a license or something of that nature. I'm not sure. I've offered to pay for the license, but they haven't listened or heeded my words.
It's very likely that mercenary work is requires membership in the guild.
That's quite possible. I did say I would be willing to pay. It just, no one came and asked me to do so. I'd gladly pay any reparations and earn my way back, but I've yet to hear back from anyone when it comes to making amends in the 2 weeks I've been here. Hopefully soon, though, and he has a big beaming smile on his face.
See, that's been what's bugging me since they took me in. Was it just me, or did they seem a bit too eager to want to bring us in?
The orc speaks up. They were certainly eager to bring me in, I'll tell you that. Something about one of their little girls or something, I'm not sure.
You might not be too far off the mark, but I honestly have to say I'm not surprised. Well, I don't have a good history with the police here in this town, the guard.
You and me both. God certainly don't like me, that's for sure.
Don't liken me to your kin.
Oh, ooh.
I am nothing like you.
Oh, big cat's got claws, alright, I like it. Yeah. You can see him kind of just like flexing his muscles a little bit, but not at you, just in general, like full of himself and paying way more attention to the poses that he's pulling in his cell than anything that anyone else is saying right now.
Good, he's distracted.
Maybe he'll be quiet for a few minutes then.
He decides to do some push-ups, and all you hear is grunting from that side, because it's too far deep into it, so you can't actually see him doing it. Except Cobalt. You can see him doing the push-ups. He's struggling. Not very good at them. And with that...
I'm gonna start doing push-ups across from him.
Go ahead and let's make the first roll of the campaign. Roll me an athletics check.
I rolled the 19 plus 1.
Very appropriately, because the orc gentleman rolled a natural 1. So, DM first roll is a nat 1. There you go. We're setting the precedent, folks. He's struggling so bad, he can barely finish one. And as soon as he does, he turns and sees you effortlessly pushing up. And embarrassed, he stops and just kind of slinks back and stays quiet for a bit.
Got a lot quieter in here all of a sudden.
I can be quiet if I want to. And then he just goes back to being quiet. And with that, the day comes to pretty much a close as the guard enters in, shouts out, "All right, you degenerates, it's lights out, go to sleep." Peh. And then very quickly just pokes his head back out and locks the
Good
door behind him.
night.
No response from the good night, but you do hear the door lock and close.
Hmm.
It is a quiet evening. Little idle conversation happens between you as you continue through this last hour before everyone eventually finds rest, best that they can. You all awake the next morning. The sun rises. Some of you are able to get up and see it before the guard comes knocking and getting rather irritated that you're still asleep. But he comes in and with a longer, kind of refined wooden stick, almost like a mace, if you will, starts to slam against all of your individual barred doors coming through. "All right, you lot, wake up, time to get up, it's time to get up."
It's too early.
It's too early for you, but you know who it's not too early for? It's not too early for the bloody warden, so you better be getting up because he's coming in, and you don't want to make him angry, do you?
Suppose not.
Now, for you in the prison, this is the first time you have seen the warden. You have not seen him before. The guard steps to the side, and the warden enters. This is a man who, for the most part, appears to be human, in his 30s, very pale skin comparatively, bright blonde hair, and red eyes. The irises themselves are red. He looks around, composed, taking a peek at each of the individual cells that you have. Inspects every last one of you. And then continues, without saying a word, all the way to the end, standing here in front of these two cells, with Waking Dream and Gilray. He turns to look at Waking Dream, sneers ever so slightly, turns back around and looks at Gilray. He points to the cell, motions for the guard with his head, a nod, and the guard goes, "Oh, right away, sir," rushes over, opens up the cell, and says, "Come on then, degenerate, time to get out of here. Warden says we got somewhere else to be." Gil at this point seems overjoyed. He is getting up, he's ready to go, he's getting his things. "Oh, this is wonderful, finally! I can go and I can make amends, I can pay for everything that was wrongly done. Oh, Warden, thank you so much. Hopefully we can sit down soon, that'd be wonderful, and we can work out everything we need to. Oh, this is fantastic." He starts to be escorted by the guard. The warden goes and walks out first, getting himself out and doing his own thing. And I'm going to pull the warden off the map. I hope that's off the map. It is not off the map. We're just going to pretend he's off the map by hiding him in the corner, shall we?
He has to go use the tree.
He's got to use the tree. Is the little warden's room. So Gil is escorted, and he's beaming full smile as he's going out and is looking at everybody in here, very bright eyes. And the last things you hear from him as he leaves the room is, "Thank you, everyone. You've made this time here much more bearable. I appreciate your companionship, and I can't wait to see you again on the other side. Hopefully this is all just a big misunderstanding for most of you, and we'll see you all again soon. Have a good one."
Good luck out there.
"Thank you, and you as well."
Commodus, smile upon you, friend.
"Ah, yes, and Zello on you, good sir." And he is escorted out by the
Fair
guard.
travel.
"Goodbye!" You hear him call out one last time as the door is closed and locked again behind him. Gonna go ahead and move him off here as well. Guard is still chilling. After about 10 to 15 more minutes, the guard comes back in and once again does his rounds, providing a basic breakfast for all of you. This time they seem to splurge a little bit, and you've got some eggs, scrambled, seasonless, completely bland, but at the very least it's some form of a protein. What would the lot of you like to do for the morning? Any further
As
conversations?
As the guard drops the food off and gets out of sight, this one, Kaiser's the most suspicious of, so he's kind of just poking it at the moment. He doesn't trust it. It's too nice.
As the guard leaves it for Cobalt, he's going to ask him, is there any chance that we could clean these cells? They are rather dirty and could use at least a decent sweeping.
A sweeping, eh? And then I'll have to get you out of the cell, and then I'd have to sweep. I can't give you a broom now, can I?
I could sweep it.
He just sits there staring at you with a big old smirk. It can't be done. Sorry, little guy. You're just gonna have to sit there in your own filth. Ha! And then turns and walks back out again.
But it's dirty.
It is, but listen, friend, the guards aren't going to do anything about it, unfortunately. You're going to have to just do the best you can with what you've got.
Well, this is unfortunate. Now who's going to argue with the orc?
I mean, no one has to argue with me. You could just agree to join me. We'd make a killing. In whatever way you want. He seems like he actually strained a little bit of a blood vessel in his brain trying to think of that.
Are you alright over there? That one sounded like it hurt a little bit.
Yeah, well, what you mean? Of course I'm alright. I'm better than you. I'm over here perfectly fine. You're the one who's not fine. Sitting there shoving his face up against the bars there.
You want to do push-ups again?
No, I think I got all my arm day was yesterday. I need to do leg day today. That's what it is, right? Yeah, it's leg day today. I'm gonna do some squats and jumping and don't mind me. I'm just gonna eat my eggs. He just sits down on his cot, eating his eggs and being relatively quiet, just out of sheer embarrassment still.
Realizing he hasn't heard anything yet, Kaiser's gonna sort of lean against his bars a little bit. You alright across the way over there, ma'am?
Oh, the lady. She nods, looks over. Yes, I'm alright. It's rough on my back for sleeping, but what can be expected? It's not exactly built for comfort here now, is it?
No, but thankfully I've slept through worse, so this is a bit of a comfort, actually. Kind of reminds me of home.
Ah, yes, but you are young. You are resilient. Those days for me have long since passed. But that's all right. Small conversations continue to happen. You enjoy your meals. When, after everyone finishes their meals, about half an hour to 45 minutes or so after the meals were dropped off, all of you hear a very faint noise coming from outside. That noise could only be described as a scream.
Guards!
No response from the guards.
I will cast Mage Armor on myself.
Okay. The scream happens again. This time a little bit louder, a little bit more clear. You can make out that it is male in origin.
I think that one was the most pleasant of the guards. That was said ironically.
Another scream, just as loud. This time you can make out a word or two. And what you are able to hear are the words, "Zelu, protect me."
Knew it.
That's...
Yeah.
The guards aren't responding either. Can guarantee they're probably not doing anything about it.
May I make a perception? I'd like to try and see if I can't pinpoint that voice.
Sure. It's
Alright.
gonna be difficult, considering you're inside of a building, but go ahead and roll me a perception check.
Okay, so I'm gonna find my skill sheet. 15.
Okay. With a 15, you are able to glean that it is from outside. It is definitely echoing through, and the little cracks that you end up getting in the walls and the window that's there as well, letting some light in, are also giving a sense of the sound being picked up. So you can at least glean that it's not from inside this building.
Right. I was trying to see if I can identify the voice, I guess.
I think you know
I'm
exactly
concerned
who
that
it
it might
is.
have been the elf.
I think you know exactly who it is. AK, yeah, you're right. It was the elven gentleman.
He was the most pleasant one here. No offense.
Taken.
The orc, I'm offended. I think I'm damn right pleasant is what I am.
Then thinking clearly isn't your strong suit, friend.
You know, it's not the first time I've heard that.
Probably won't be the last either.
And what's that supposed to mean? You see him slam himself up against the bars there.
Oh, what are you going to do about it? You're stuck behind there. You can't touch
Oh,
us.
you just wait until I get out. I'll tell you what.
You're going to do nothing, that's what.
We're gonna see about that now, aren't we? Watch this. He hunches over in what appears to be pain, grasping at his stomach. And then calls out, Oh, no, that didn't sit right with me. God, I think I'm ill. I think I need to go and see the infirmary. I I can't be here. I need medical assistance. God. And then he looks up and just winks at all of you. The guard from outside the door takes his bully club, I think is the right word, smacks it against the bar and says, "Hey, quiet in there. You're fine. You know you're fine. Shut up." "No, I'm not. I really need some help. I need to see an apothecary. I need some medicine, please. You gotta come in here. I need your help so badly." This seems to set the guard off as the door swings open very quickly. He walks in with purpose and a very disgruntled look on his face. He goes ahead and moves over to the orc at the bars and says, "All right, come here. Let me see what you got. You sick, you said, huh?" The orc gets closer to the bars, to which then the guard smacks him over the top of the head with his bully club. "Oh, what the... You bloody bastard, you are. You're hitting me and I'm sick. Oh, you look perfectly fine to me, don't you? Shut up in here." Turns around and he walks back away. "And don't the rest of you get any funny ideas either." Walks back out. You hear the lock of the door once again.
Yeah. How strong do these cells look?
That was actually going to be my next question.
The clapping in the background, I love it. Go ahead.
A beautiful performance.
Go ahead and roll a investigation check for me, Cobalt.
Okay. Straight roll. 10.
10? Okay. The bars themselves seem pretty sturdy, pretty stable. You get around them, you're able to do whatever you need to inspect. You see that there's some, like, extra bar at the top that's holding it together, a little bar at the bottom that you're able to hop over, and it's all just holding the bars together in place, generally. Make me a dex saving throw, please.
$22.
Okay. Hopping around and everything, you manage to not trip, not fall, and you situate yourself back down, and yeah, everything seems pretty sturdy.
He's going to sort of center himself, extend his hand to almost like... I want to say he's going to sort of look like the 1-inch punch kind of style. He's going to sort of just center his hand right where the lock is and strike at it.
Okay. Go ahead and give me an attack roll.
And for the record, he's going to use his focus on it too.
Okay.
If he succeeds. 17 plus 6, so 23.
Yeah, you're going to hit that lock, though it is mostly focused on the opposite side, so you're hitting the back side of the lock. Go ahead and roll me some damage.
But with his focus... 2 plus 4, 6, that is 6 acid damage.
Okay. The acid damage is definitely going to be doing a little bit. Let's see. You said 6?
Yes.
Okay. It definitely seems like it's having some kind of an effect on it, but still holding true, still functional.
He would be continuing to do that, but if anyone else is going to do something else...
At this point, the lady across the way and the orc are just looking over at you in confusion Then looking over at the other two, at Kaiser and Dream, still in confusion, but motioning their heads to the other cell. And then the orc finally speaks up. What are you doing that for?
Someone clearly needs help, and the guards aren't going to help.
I mean, he was a prick. He can rot for all I care. But why are you beating up the lock? And you see him motioning with his hands at you, both of them like extending out at the same time, like
Unfortunately, there's only one prick around here, and he's in here with us.
Oh, you don't have to be so hard on yourself. Do you go for another strike?
Yes, I do.
All right. It's stationary, so just go ahead and roll me.
Only 2 that time.
Still hits. Go ahead and give me damage.
Ooh, better. 7
Okay.
acid damage.
You seem to be making a dent in this overall. The acid is definitely working on the lock, but with each strike you are making a bit of noise, as would be expected. The guard opens up the door and steps back in. Alright, he's making all that fucking ruckus. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to deal with it. You sit down. You shut up. He's taking a look around.
Or what are you going to do about it?
You want to know what I'm going to do about it? I'm going to tell you exactly what I'm going to do about it. Come here, and I'll show you exactly what I'm going to do about it.
I can't come there because I'm behind these bars. You want to do something about that?
Yeah, so he pops over to you in front of the bars. This is exactly what I'm going to do about it. And just spits into your cell. I'm going to do jack shit. Because you can do jack shit. Because you're a bloody degenerate, locked away, and there ain't nothing you can do. Keep this up.
Kaiser's going to move closer to the bars himself. Is he within distance in any capacity?
He's within range.
Well, is he
grabbing
within
distance.
reach is
Yeah,
what I'm asking.
He's
yeah.
within reach, yeah.
That's cool. I'm going to reach out and try to grab him then.
All right. Here we go. Go ahead and make a attack roll. With disadvantage because you're trying to grapple through an obstacle.
Ooh, that's going to be close. Since I'm doing this, you want me to roll an attack roll just a straight D20, or do you want me to add anything to it?
It is a athletics? Yeah, I think it's an athletics for a grapple. Let me quickly double check that.
It's athletics for the attacker of a grapple, acrobatics, or athletics for the defender.
Yep, that's what I thought. So yeah, give me an athletics check on that one. Disadvantage.
Yep. Okay, so at the disadvantage, my roll would be 16 total then.
Ah, okay. You manage just barely to grab onto his armor and hold him there. What the? Back off! He churns, and with his bully club, goes for a swing. Does a... Oh wait, you're armorless, so it's an 11. That should hit without your armor. Because your dex mod is 0, yes?
Yes.
Yeah, so your AC would be 10 normally. So it just hits, and it bonks you on top of the head. You take 4 points of bludgeoning damage. Are you gonna let go?
Is that the best you've got? And I'm going to try and just jerk him hard into the bars.
Yeah, you still got
Basically.
him. Yeah, this is a improvised strike. So go ahead and make a strength attack roll. You do not have proficiency in improvised weapons, so it's a strength attack roll. So D20 plus your strength mod.
Strength plus... Okay, strength mod is +2, so that'll be 14.
Not enough. You pull, but it's not hard enough to really cause something to click. You kind of just pull him closer, and at that point he goes ahead and he tries to make a check to get out of that. He's going to try to wrench himself free from your grasp. And with a natural 17, I think he's going to succeed on that. Give me another athletics check to see if you can hold on to him, still with disadvantage because difficult situation. You've got a 19 to beat because +2.
Yeah, that's not happening. That's 10 total.
Yeah, so he goes ahead and he wrenches himself free and pulls him back out of grabbing range. All right, that's enough funny business out of you. Gonna go see what the warden has to say. And he just quickly runs back out and then pops over here really fast. And you, keep it down.
Actually, I think it was the orc that was doing it.
Well, you can keep it down too. Don't make me come after you again.
I would like to cast Hold Person.
Okay, you've got vision. Go ahead, and I need to make a type of save. What kind of save is that?
Wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom save. He gets a whole +0 to this, and that's an 8. He is held in place right in front of the orc's holding cell.
Perfect.
Okay. Yeah. The orc goes and chuckles. That's a good trick. You think you could just stand there and taunt me like all of this? I see how it is. Is it? Wait, why aren't you moving?
Check his body. See if he's got keys on him.
One moment. I would also like to cast Misty Step, so I'm behind him.
Yeah, I forgot you got that. That is a 30 foot. You want to go right behind him?
Yep.
5, 10 diagonal, 15, 20, 25, 30. That's as far as you can get on a 30.
Okay, that's perfectly fine.
Okay. With that, he does get a chance to try again on the wisdom save, because a round has gone by. That's a 15.
All right, let me check. My DC is 13.
Yep, so he breaks free. He is no longer held under the hold person spell. Oh, you! Ugh. And he turns and he looks really angrily at you at this point. Quickly he gives a shout, and he shouts out, "Lock the doors!" And he pulls out from his side a second bully club and drops his shield, and now is just dual holding these bully clubs. You also hear very quickly a louder latch, like something was dropped into the ground heavy, coming from the door.
Firebolt on the guard.
Okay, roll an attack roll. It seems like we've gone into full initiative at this point as well. So let's go ahead and change the music, because I think that's a good idea.
Probably.
Let's go with this one. Da-da-da. And click over here and do that. Okay, let's go ahead and get an initiative roll from everybody.
Oof.
Not bad.
Go ahead and roll for these folks. Okay.
I have a 9.
Okay. What's your dex modifier?
3.
Okay. Is that number. All right. Cobalt, what you got?
Rolled a 15, so 19 total.
Okay. Kaiser, you in this battle?
Hi, I'm a 10.
Okay.
Oh, now that everyone can see me, you can probably see my mage armor, which kind of takes the form of swirling rocks around my body.
Very cool. Very cool. All right. First up in the initiative order is Cobalt with that firebolt. Go ahead and give me the attack roll.
My wisdom mod, so therefore the attack roll is a 20.
That will hit. Give me some damage.
Come on, no whammies. 6 fire damage.
Okay.
Yeah, this little blue claw sticks out of the bars and fire erupts from it.
And launching out from there, as now I realize I need to remove that other song from the playlist. That's a pain in the butt. Oh, I need to do that. That's a pain in the butt. Alright. Quickly fixing it, because I'm working for this one. Oh, I don't have a login. Never mind. I'm just going to have to deal with it. I apologize, guys. You're not going to have the sound in Discord for a little bit for this, but I am going to get it going otherwise. So let me stop it there, open it up over here. We're just going to put this on repeat. So the chat and everyone in the stream can go ahead and hear it. I'm going to have this working a lot more properly next session for us.
All good.
Okay. So, you extend your clawed hand out through the bars, and with great ease and plenty of room, you can still move your hand and create the necessary somatic components to move and create the spell before launching it. It erupts, hitting the guard directly in the center of his chest plate, and he grunts out loud, "Ugh!" Falls back ever so slightly into the bars behind him, and at this point is a little bit singed and is not looking happy. You can see him stand up and spit a little bit of blood out from his mouth to the side, and then raises both of those bully clubs up to his side, ready to go. Anything else from you?
For me, no, that's basically what I can do. Turn.
Okay.
Yeah.
It is the guard's turn. He is surrounded. He kind of drops the bully club and picks up the shield once again to hold and keep himself in a position that looks very defended. And he's just going to sit there and smack the club against the shield. Just, come on! Come get me! You worthless pieces of shit! Come and get me! Kaiser, your turn.
So from my bars where he's at, do I see him?
You do have line of sight, yes. You're able to lean
Cool.
just barely through to get a little bit of line of sight.
Kaiser just leans out. Do you hear that? The sounds of the bells tolling for your demise, and the sound of a bell rings out as I cast Toll the Dead on him.
There we go. What's the save I need to make?
Wisdom save.
Wisdom save. Natural 18 on the dice.
Dang, yeah.
Yeah.
He makes it then.
So he shakes his head. You hear just a gentle boom, but he shakes his head and doesn't seem to be too affected by it. Gonna have to try harder than that. Anything else for you?
No, I don't believe so.
Okay. Dream, you're up.
Okay. So, I am going to cast Earth and Blast and keep the shield on myself.
Okay.
So, when I cast a spell, stones from the ground will come up and form a disc that kind of just hovers over my forearm. And I hold it almost mimicking the guard.
Yep. For reference as well, this is a custom homebrew spell that Waking Dream is using as part of something else that we get to go into a little bit later once that comes up.
And that's my first earth cantrip.
Yep.
As well, so I have a moat.
Yes, you do. Alrighty. Anything else from you?
Nope.
Okay. The orc, who you have not gotten his name yet, goes ahead and reaches through the bars and tries to grab the guard around his neck. He is at disadvantage because the guard entered a defensive stance, and with disadvantage still a natural 16 for a total of 18, bypassing his armor. He grabs the guard with one arm around his throat and the other on top of his head. And then he looks at all of you. Aye, just say the word, eh? It'll be done. And he holds him there for a second. Cobalt, your turn. So we can say that he's moved kind of here, so we'll do that.
Okay. I'm gonna try to punch my door open again.
Sure, go ahead and
Get
roll an
myself
attack.
out.
Make an investigation check for me before you do.
16.
16. With a 16, you go to try to take a look at the lock and see if you can figure out the best angle to strike at it, and it clicks in your head that you are striking it from behind. It would be much easier to break this lock if you struck it from the front. So you step through the bars and decide to strike it from the front.
I could have stepped up the whole time.
You were so small you could have just walked through the bars. That's why I had you do a roll earlier to see if you could figure it out. And the dex save was to see if you tripped and decided to fall out on your own accord. But you succeeded on the dex save, so you didn't.
Okay, well, he's gonna walk through, about to line up the strike, and realize that he's out of the cell, and then run up and just go for the guard's keys.
Okay. Give me a very quick perception check to see if you can see where the keys are. Not a difficult roll.
12.
Yeah. The keys are obviously on his belt buckle on the side. They are latched in. Now it's just a matter of how you want to do it. Do you want to try to rip them away? Do you want to finagle it off of him?
He's gonna try to sort of, I guess, sleight of hand them off.
Okay. Make me a sleight of
sort of-
hand roll.
Yeah. Okay, 10 total.
Mm-hmm.
I rolled a 6.
Let me roll something to see there. Yeah, with a 10, it's not enough to break the specific clasp to do it easily. So you reach out and you grab hold of the ring, try to flick up the latch that's holding it onto the little belt loop there. But unfortunately, it doesn't go like you want it to, and you find yourself tugging and kind of twisting his torso with the belt ever so slightly. Well, you're holding onto the ring of keys, but they're still on him. And that would be your action to try to make that sleight of hand, so...
Yeah, no, I think that's about as much as I can do.
Yeah. Alright. moving forward, unless you have anything else you'd like to do.
Cobalt, no. The player, I feel embarrassed.
It happens. Low rolls are part of the story. Alright, it goes to the guard's turn. He's going to try to break free of the grasp that the orc has him in. And it's going to be contested by the athletics of the orc. And he is unfortunately unable to wriggle free. With a total of 10, he does not beat the 12 that the orc has on holding him in place. That is his action to do it, so he's got nothing else that he can do. He's just grunting and trying to free himself. You can see that he's going a little red in the face, like his windpipe is being slightly crushed there. Kaiser, your turn.
Considering everyone's in a cluster at the moment, Kaiser's just going to call out again. You can't escape the bells as they toll for your doom. And I'm going to try to toll the dead again on him.
Alright, wisdom save. Ooh, that's a 6.
It's a definite fail.
Yes, it is. Go ahead and roll that damage. It is a d12, because he is already damaged.
Indeed. Two, apparently.
2 damage, okay.
Two necrotic.
Yep, not too much, but enough to make a little bit of blood trickle out from both of his ears. That tolling of the bell, the bong, is definitely more pronounced this time. And you see he kind of wobbles a little bit, unable to really compose himself with being short of breath because he's being chokeholded against these bars, and now unable to shake off the effect of your magic. Blood begins to trickle out from both of his ears ever so slightly.
That will do it for my turn.
Okay. Dream, your turn.
All right. Nice of you to join the party. I'm going to walk up close to the guard and unfasten his belt.
Okay. This is a general dexterity, but you can add sleight of hand if you're proficient.
And I am, in fact.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a sleight of hand check for me.
23?
That definitely beats it. It was an 11. So, Kobolds, unfortunately, you were one shy from being able to do that because leather armor is a basic +1. That's what I was using as the effect. You reach over. Cobalt still holding onto the ring because he never let go, or said he did. So he's still holding onto it.
Holding.
Yeah.
He undid his belt. I'm holding the ring and his belt now.
At this point, yeah, because the belt is now undone. It is falling off to the side, and you're holding a ring with a belt draped off of it towards the floor. Anything else from you, Dream? That will be an action to do that.
Well, I had to move closer in order to be able to do that, so no.
Okay. So that was just the 5 feet. You could move back if you would like. You still have 25 to go.
Would he be able to take an attack of opportunity on me?
He is currently grappled, but yes, he can.
Well, I suppose he could try. I'll go ahead and I'll go ahead and walk directly backwards away from him.
Okay, how far? Each block
That's
is
good.
5.
That's good.
Just 5. Just stepping right out of range.
Yeah.
He takes the opportunity and is swinging wildly, just trying to do everything he can to swing. And with a 14, does that hit?
No.
Okay. Bouncing off of the mage armor, just the protective magical aura that you put around yourself manages to catch the bully club and deflect it back towards him. The orc, it's his turn. Alright, I think I've seen enough. He goes in and tries to make a strike by attempting to grab his head and just snap the guard's neck. He's got him grappled. And let's see the check there. Even less. Yep. So he goes in and says, good night, sweet prince. Cracks his neck. And you see the guard fall limp in his hands before the orc releases his arms, takes a step back into his cell, and throws his arms up victoriously like he's a gladiator in an arena, as the guard now lies dead on the ground.
That might have been going a little too far.
Too far? What do you mean? He was asking for it, getting all up in our business here. I know he ain't a problem, and you got the keys.
I'm gonna run over and unlock Heiser's cell, and then the old woman's cell.
All right. You go over, you unlock Kaiser's cell. No problem with the keys. You unlock
Thank you,
the old
friend.
lady's cell. No problem with the keys. And we'll move both of them just up here to the door.
And then I'm gonna go try to unlock the main door.
Okay. You approach the main door, and you get here, and you see that there is a lock mechanism, but from the opposite side, as you can gather. Very similar to the cell that you were in, where the locking is from the opposite side of it all. Go ahead and make
Can I go through this door?
make an investigation check, because this is not your standard barred door. This is a solid door.
Okay. Oh. I don't like that. Well, that's an investigation of a 2.
It's a door. Can't find the keyhole. It's a door, though.
I'm gonna punch the door.
Yeah, you punch the door. Just solid bung. Not much else coming out of that.
He's gonna turn around. That's no door, that's a wall.
Well, we'll have to get through it somehow.
It is wood. Didn't you just cast a firebolt before? Do you have any other fire magic?
Okay. And he turns. Okay. He turns around, sort of breathes in, and belches out fire.
Okay. It automatically fails a dex saving throw, so go ahead and roll me the damage.
Oh, that's awesome. That is actually maxed it for 8 fire damage.
Not bad at all. And in fact, because it is a wooden door, it is doubled. It's vulnerable to fire. Let's go ahead and take a quick look here. Yep, this is definitely a resilient thing here going on. So, okay. I know what I'm looking at.
Oh, goodness.
So the door is set ablaze, but is still holding. It is pretty resilient overall. It's definitely holding its own for now. It's supposed to be. It's supposed to be the last defense for you guys getting out of a prison cell. I would like you 3 to tell me your passive perceptions, please.
13.
15.
Let's see. 15.
Okay. All of you are able to catch this, but only at the last second, as you see the warden appear out of nowhere in the cell behind this old lady. He grabs her, scoffs for a moment, and then a magical effect seems to encompass them both as she lets out a little yelp of surprise, and they are both gone.
Damn it all.
The orc speaks up. Hey, that old bat's gone. Now all you got is me. Come on, open the door. I'll help you out. We'll get out of here.
All things considered, you might actually be safer in there.
You're setting the place on fire. Why do you think I'll be safe out of here?
The warden just stole the woman.
He did what?
The warden, he just stole your next door neighbor.
Ah, but the warden left a while ago. You're all crazy. Come on, open the door. Let me out.
But you just killed a guy.
Yeah, he
You
deserved
shouldn't
it.
be-
He didn't deserve it. He was just doing his job. But
He hit me on the head. He was asking for it. He hit you on the head. He was asking for it.
We might
speaking
not-
of that,
We
Mercy,
might
real
need
quick.
to rethink our strategy.
As that talking is going on, and after seeing the warden teleport out with the woman,
Mhm.
Kaiser wants to come out of his cell and approach where the guard's body is.
Sure.
And I want to collect one of the bully clubs and the shield that he was carrying.
Most certainly.
And Kaiser will ping the bully club against the shield, sort of testing him.
Yep. For reference, that bully club is a D4 bludgeoning.
Good to know.
Yep.
And then looking down at his body as he collects them, he sort of crosses across his chest. Kama to guide you to the other side.
All right. What would the three of you like to do?
I'm gonna punch the burning door again.
Yeah. Go ahead for an attack roll with this now that it is a little bit weakened by the fire. Give me an attack roll.
13?
13 hits a stationary door, right? No, actually it doesn't. It's too solid. Wood has an AC of 15. So you go to strike it, but you're hesitant because it's on fire and you're not 100% sure where to strike without singeing your hand ever so slightly. So you go to punch, but it's not, you're not following through, and it just doesn't quite get the impact that you're hoping for.
I think I broke through the door.
We might need to consider an alternative exit plan.
As you say that, you hear out in the main hall a little bit of a commotion from beyond the door. You can't see, but you can hear. And for the passive perception, we got 15s in there, I heard before, yeah?
Yes.
Yes.
For those with 15, because this is a 14 for a check, you hear what is pretty clearly the sound of steel clashing against steel.
So I hear a burning door.
You hear a burning door, because you're literally on top of it. The crackling is too much. But the others are able to pick out just that clang of metal hitting metal on the opposite side of the door.
Well, this day's just getting better and better.
You might want to get behind me.
Okay. And he'll move behind.
Where are you moving up to, Dream? To the door itself?
Yes.
Okay. Kaiser, we're going to scoot you there and just do like a switcheroo with them. Okay. What's next?
Wait.
How How big is the window opening?
Very small. Small enough that it's enough to let some light in, but even you can't fit out of the opening.
Okay, I had to ask.
Mm-hmm. It's good you did. It's not like the bars. So you're waiting to see what happens next?
Yep, I have my discus shield of stone in front of me, and mostly because I have my magical armor and my stone shield, I'm assuming that I'm going to be the hardest one to hit right now.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I want to be in the front.
Sure thing. Since we're waiting,
Ask.
Cobalt. Yes?
I'm gonna ask Kaiser and Dream, because I'm gonna just sort of just jingle the keys. Should I let him out?
Honestly, he deserves to stay behind there, but honestly, the more that we have, the better right now, probably. Because we're severely under-equipped. The more bodies, the better.
Okay, I'll step over the guard, unlock the door, and then step back into the lineup that we are in.
Okay.
I'm still keeping the keys, though.
That's perfectly fine.
With the belt. I now have an extra belt.
You have an extra belt. The orc goes and he says, "All right, that's what I'm talking about. Now then, there's only one way out of this place, right? And it's through that door."
Yep. There's something else going on the other side, though.
All right. He turns his head to the side, kind of cracking his neck a little bit in both directions, and then cracks his knuckles. There's only one way to find out what it is, and that's going head first.
Sidestep.
Yep, you take a sidestep. He moves up and goes and shoulder barges into the door. At this point, because of the talking and the fact that it's on fire, it has been weakened enough that he is able to burst through, shattering it into splinters as they just erupt all around him. And he emerges out in the next room. Now this is a room that all of you are familiar with, though there's a little bit of smoke blocking because of the burning door that once stood there. Out in this main room, there is a desk over on the left side where a guard normally is stationed. Out to the right side and the far side are storage crates for holding various things. This is where you all distinctly remember your personal belongings being kept. And out to the far left is the door leading outside. From where you are, all you know is what you remember. You don't see anything additional going on. The orc stops, stands up, looks around, and turns back and says, "Aye, I don't know what you're so worried about. Coast is clear."
As I lean and look out the door.
He takes one step further in. Looking out, sure enough, the coast seems to be clear. You don't see any guards here in the room at the moment. There's the crates off on the side. The door itself is closed. It doesn't seem to be any kind of sign of anything that you see at the exact moment. Including that guy not appearing to be there.
I don't like this.
Because I'm not the only one that heard it, right? The sound of obviously still hitting steel.
No, your assessment was most accurate.
I've got a bad feeling now. Something really wrong is going on here.
It's been going wrong for about the past 10-15 minutes.
Yeah, I know that, but I mean, something worse is coming.
I get what you're saying.
What would you fellas like to do?
Get my stuff.
Okay.
Head out into the main hall and start tossing for my stuff.
Yep. Heading on out, The orc does bring himself over to that as well, trying to see what he can do. Cobalt, I assume you're going out to look for your stuff as well?
Yes, I need something out of my bag.
Okay. So you go over and you start rummaging through, and all three of you, including the orc as a fourth, are successful in finding your belongings. So the equipment that started on your sheet is now back in your possession. I will let you know, the ruling for armor is light armor takes a minute to don, medium armor 5, and heavy armor 10.
I don't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
Neither do I. But if you need help, can't you, with assistance, can't that time be lowered?
Only if you're taking it off, actually. I looked this up earlier today.
Oh.
Yep. Doffing the armor with assistance, it reduces the time in half. But donning the armor takes as long as it takes, otherwise you don't gain the benefit of the armor class.
Okay.
Alright. So the orc reaches in, he sees an axe, hand axe, single axe in his hand, grabs it. This is alright. This is all I needed. Come on, you lot, let's get on out there. And without missing a beat, he just starts charging at the door. Gets
I don't
to
think
it.
that's a good idea.
Gets to it, kicks it wide open, and proceeds to run out into the courtyard. He dips off the side, off into the grass, so you cannot currently see him from where you're at.
I don't much like him.
I'd say he's made a friend of me either.
I found my soap! And he's going to start feverishly scrubbing his hands.
All right. All three of you at this point are able to hear, because the door is wide open now, shuffling of what definitely sounds to be metallic in nature, probably armor from what you gather. And at a very quick glance out the window that you can see over here, you can definitely make out that there are a couple guards just on the outside running over to the main gate and making their way into the prison compound. You count, estimate it, about 4 to 5 of them. Do any of you want to take a closer look at all of this?
But I'm done cleaning my hands.
Yeah, you're busy with your hands, so... it's-
I will.
Okay. Go ahead and make a perception check for me.
14.
You catch a glimpse of something, not enough of a view, but something that appears to be gray, moving behind the guards, and then just as quickly as you saw it, it's gone. You couldn't make out anything but its color.
Interesting. I think that they have bigger problems than us right now. Not that I'm going to complain.
No, because we can either go now or we can wait until I can get my armor on, because it's going to take me a few minutes. It's your call.
The footsteps and the shuffling of the armor seem to be growing closer, and as they do, you hear the ever-classic Wilhelm scream, followed by a crunch. All of this outside from the courtyard.
Might want to go check that out.
And as you say that, You hear the orc triumphantly yell, "Ha ha! Take that!" What would you like to do?
As we've been going through all of this, the talking and the listening and the preserving, Kaiser's been trying to put on what pieces of armor he can get on at this point.
Okay. It's only been a couple seconds, about half a minute, that all of this is really going on. Maybe a minute at the most. But that sound of the guardsman is definitely approaching, and very quickly, to the point where you estimate they're probably just about to enter into the grounds themselves. And with memory for that, they don't have very far to go to get over here to the prison itself.
All right, well, they're still doing their thing, so I'm going to advance towards the door.
Okay. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, you can get all the way up to there.
Yay.
As you do, your passive, you notice that there is actually a guard. The guard, however, is over here in a pool of his own blood. His weapon laying at his side, a short sword.
Oh!
From this
What's up, did you
distance,
see something?
you could rather clearly see that he is cut across the neck from side to side, clean. Would you like to investigate any further? Do you want to take a look outside the door? What you got for me?
I will probably investigate the body a little bit further and bring it to everyone's notice.
Okay.
It appears we weren't mistaken about the fighting in this room.
So you
I
have
found
to
the loser.
You do have to get over a little bit closer, and on a very easy to see, now that you're this close, there seems to be a little bit of a puddle of blood underneath him. However, in inspecting the body, the wound on his neck is not bleeding. Normally, in a wound like this, you would expect the blood to trickle and spill out and things of that nature, but it looks like it's such a clean cut, almost like it was cauterized, but you notice that the skin isn't singed to be cauterized. There should be blood, and yet there isn't, except for underneath him.
This wound is foreign to me. I don't know how I feel about this. It's very creepy.
With the little bits of clasps that Kaiser has on at the moment, he'll turn from attempting to put his armor on and walk up to Dream and have a look himself.
Okay. Getting a quick look, you can look over the bench there, essentially. And if you'd like, you can make a medicine check for me.
Yes, let's see here. 17.
Okay. With a 17, you can very definitely, cleanly see that there is this gaping wound on his throat. It should be bleeding out around the sides and down out of it, but it appears that it's actually been drained. No blood is coming up, and the puddle of blood underneath him isn't getting larger. You also know that that's not enough blood for him to have been completely bled dry, especially in this short of a time. Something else is going on here.
I guess the question next would be then, have I ever seen a wound like this before?
I would say you have not.
Ooh, that's not right. His blood has been drained.
Oh, gross.
I've never seen that before. It's very unnerving.
It's at this time, from outside, the guards are now clamoring forward. You hear your orc friend yell out, and I say friend, but he yells out, "Finally a challenge! Come at me, you damn filthy guards, people. Might be a lady, I don't know." And they just starts running in, and you hear the clashing of steel from outside once again. Amongst that clashing is a horrifying scream let out. This one from the north.
I'm gonna run up to the door.
Okay.
I have a speed of 40, so I can hit the door. get to the door.
Absolutely. Yep.
What do I see? 'Cause I'm looking out.
Yes. Now what you see looking out is you're going to see a grand total of... Where's my guard token? There's 1, there's 2, there's 3, 4, 5 guards. This one, it's a little tough to... I think I can change that. There's a way to twist them, I just don't know how to do it. Yeah, I'll figure it out later. Next time, it'll be easier. This guard in the back here, he fell. It's pretty obvious. He is currently snapped neck, laying unmoving on the ground. The orc is over here, fighting with 3 of them kind of surrounding him on flanking side like that, and the other 2 are kind of rushing and facing towards the door. Give me a perception check on top of all of this, because that's what's easy to see.
Oh, wow. That's a 20.
With a 20, you also pick up something gray, staying low to the ground, kind of hovering over towards the gate, but outside of it. It's difficult to see, but you can't make out details. It's currently a little too dark going on, and trees giving shade and everything in the general vicinity, as well as behind the gate that is pretty solid. But you're able to pick up something gray and decently sized out there in the distance. What would you like to do?
I can do it again. Going to Dragon Breath in a... I can get the 2 guards in front of me.
Okay.
And this time I'm going to breathe out in cold damage.
Okay. They do get constitution saves because it's cold? Or is it dexterity?
It's the breath attack, so it's a dexterity save regardless.
Okay. Yep.
It's just I can change what the damage type is.
Yep. The DC is what on that?
Oh, it's not a save. It's I make an attack with it.
Oh, you make an attack.
It's a breath attack.
Okay.
Sorry, read the wrong thing. $17.
That will hit. And then it's a cone, isn't it?
Yes.
So then that should actually be a dex save. And then half damage on a miss.
Let me double check.
Yeah, it should be a dexterity save.
Vismans. Fantastic.
A dexterity saving throw against your key save DC. Yep.
Yes. Okay, it is a dex save.
Yep. One of them succeeds, the other fails.
Yeah.
So go ahead and roll damage. One of them takes
13
half.
on this save.
Yeah, one of
Yeah.
them passed, and the other one definitely failed.
7 cold damage.
Okay. So one of them takes 7, and the other takes half, rounded down, 3. You take a deep breath in, and then you exhale, and you see the entire ground covered in a thin sheet of ice and crystals as the moisture in the air crystallizes and forms together, sticking to the guards themselves, and the one closer to you ends up taking a good chunk of that damage, the brunt of it there. While the one in the back was able to bring up his shield and block a good chunk of it, but still, take something.
Yeah.
In response to this, they are going to move up.
So yeah, after he exhales and the guards move up, he's gonna sort of holler back inside. They're not happy.
Not surprised.
Yeah, it sounded like they weren't happy.
What would you like to do?
Who's next?
You know what?
Still out of initiative, technically. It will
Oh.
turn into initiative in a moment if you guys do something or don't do something that I'm potentially thinking.
Sorry, I had
He's going to, as his bonus action,
Mhm.
drop down and use his draconic cry
Okay.
and start complaining about how dirty his fingernails are and continue scrubbing with the soap on his hands.
Remind me what that does again?
What the draconic cry is going to do is it's going to I let out the cry, and all enemies within 10 feet of me until the start of my next turn, me and my allies have advantage on attack rolls against those enemies.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
They are completely confused as to why all of a sudden you drop down and start to clean your hands. They can't make any sense of it. So much so that they turn and look at each other in confusion before turning back to look at you and trying to force their way forward, shields drawn. They are going to go ahead and try to shove you, the one in front of you with the shield, trying to push you back.
Like I said, I'm sort of cowering now, scrubbing my hands, so like I'm a not even a 3-foot kobold.
Would you say
Over onto himself.
would you say you're prone then?
Sort of.
Let's go with yes.
It's
Because you did describe dropping down, so.
yeah. Well, it's the draconic cry. It's you let out a cry and you sort of make a quivering motion.
Yep. I let you.
Did you really find a way to weaponize anxiety?
Kind of.
Yeah, I kind of did.
All right, so the guard, confused, moves forward with his shield and aims it a lot lower. And because you're prone, he does get advantage on a melee attack. This is a shove attack. Does a 14 hit you?
No, it does not.
Okay. It sails over your head. He manages to miss. The other guard attempts to do the same thing. And misses terribly as well. You're just sitting there crying out. He can't seem to get that hit in that he's hoping for to shove you back in. It is
I think I would like to take the next action if possible.
Absolutely.
I would like to move here. And then I will cast another cantrip.
Mhm.
Let's see. Charged blade.
Okay. That does require a weapon, which you've picked up again.
Okay. Oh, it's has to be a melee weapon, so I'm actually going to be right here instead. Sorry.
Okay.
And I'm going to use my whip, going over the kobold's head
Mm-hmm.
to lash at this guy.
Yep. Go ahead and roll an attack for me.
Okay. Ooh. Let's see. That would be 23.
That'll definitely hit. Give me some damage.
Excellent. So, my whip snaps out, crackling with electric energy. Let me double check. Okay, so the person that I hit will take 2 plus my wisdom, so 5 damage.
Mm-hmm.
And then 3 lightning damage.
Okay.
And then his little friend next to him will also take 3 lightning damage.
Okay.
And that gives me my second moat.
Yeah, that gives you an air moat to use on this one. So you have 1 earth and 1 air currently sitting and swirling around you. Little bits of green and yellow light kind of hovering nearby. The guard that you hit with the whip takes it and doesn't think much of it, grabs it, and that's when the electricity goes off. He falls to the ground, unconscious. The guard next to him, the one on the outside here, looks like he's just barely hanging on. You got a taser whip, my friend.
Mm-hmm. I don't think that was a very positive experience for him.
After the whip cracks, there's a sense of silence that overcomes the entire courtyard, as one does after you hear a whip crack. In this silence, you hear a scream of pain from the north. You can't quite place it, but it sounds like it's distant and muffled. And this is most certainly a female voice, a bit elderly.
No, I don't much like that.
No, she was nice.
Are you going to be done soon? Or are you going to be done soon?
Alrighty. Let's go ahead then, and we'll say that the orc was able to take out one of the guards, comes down right onto his neck with the axe, and that guard goes down. He's not getting up. The other 2 are trying to hold defensive positions and are unable to really do too much about it. Yeah, and Kaiser is still in the back here, trying to get his armor on.
Yeah, still, you hear the clinks and the clanks and the clasps buckling as he's trying to hurry.
The one guard falls, and the other guard is just barely hanging on. So he is going to take a step back, and this is where we will go ahead and things seem to be at a little bit of a standstill. They have the grounds. There seems to be decent positioning, and sound-wise, you can make out that there might be some more guards coming down the road. What do you do, the three of you?
This is a losing battle. We need to find or prioritize leaving, honestly.
Do you see a way out that would be quick and efficient?
Let's see. Fence, door, fence.
I have the keys.
Maybe not these keys. It's worth a shot, but I'm afraid that might be where the army is coming from.
All right. Cobalt, I want you to make a dexterity saving throw for me, please.
Oh dear. 18.
Okay. You feel a gust of wind come out of seemingly nowhere. This gust is significant enough to take the door and kind of suck the air quickly out of the room, like it's trying to suck you out of the room with it. But you hold your own, jump very briefly to the side to grab onto something, and the door in front of you slams itself shut. You hear the guards on the opposite side, because this opens inward, slamming on the door. The one guard, at least, who's still alive, trying to slam on the door and get into the room. You can hear him call out and shout out, "Someone come over here and help me! We've got to get these prisoners back in their cells."
No, you don't.
More footsteps seem to be approaching from the east. For the moment, you have a little bit of time. And this time can be used in a couple different ways. Form a plan, get that armor on, think of a different way to get out. You've got options. Or you can just burst open the door and go out and deal with it all face on. Your choice.
Okay. I know that you said that the one in the cell block was a very small window. What about these windows?
These are small as well, a little bit bigger, but not big enough for all of you to get through, unfortunately. The only one that could probably fit would be the small kobold.
Obviously, we need to get out of here, but do we really want to leave behind the 2 screams that we've been hearing?
No, but I'm afraid that those screams might mean dire fates for them already. And we can't much help them if they get reinforcements.
But even if they're only mostly dead but not completely dead, I can still do something about that.
Oh, can you?
You hear the clamoring of steel once again outside, and the orc that has been fighting turns and yells out, and you can hear him yell through the door. "Ha! You need to bring more. Ah, and I see you've thought to release the hounds finally. Good on you! A proper challenge!"
I'm gonna hop to that chair and look out the window. I assume I need the chair to see out the window.
You do. Yeah, it's hilarious.
At least he sounds like he's having fun.
You take a look outside, and there are now, because these were dead, I'm going to scoot them around, 3 more that have arrived. And behind them, if I can find the... Here we go. Behind them is a wolf. Snarling. Standing right here at the gate, facing forward. The guards all seem to be facing inward as well, facing this orc here.
Well, there's 7 guards all fighting our wonderful not orc friend.
I apologize. This guy's dead.
He's still going to count 7. He's going to count the dead body.
Oh, okay.
He might
And they
be a
even
pain.
And they even have a puppy.
That orc fellow might be a pain, but we can't leave him out there to just die.
Okay, Cobalt's going to jump out the window then.
Okay. Make a... God, what do I need to have you shatter the glass? I think this is a strength check to try to get through the window, because you got to shatter the glass.
An athletics check?
Yeah, we're gonna say athletics.
Oh, please, not bad. Whew. Okay. Rolled an 18, so that makes it a 19.
Okay. That is successful in hitting the glass. Go ahead and make a unarmed strike as if it was a critical on the damage. You can use your martial arts for the damage for this.
Yeah. Seven, 14, 18 damage.
What you need it, surprisingly. The resilient window that happened to be there and keeping you in, you found just the right point. Shoving into it with your shoulder, you launch yourself through the window, glass shards exploding out as you jump out and 3-point landing into the courtyard here.
When Kaiser sees him go to jump, he's like, wait, no! Dream, we should probably try to do something about that.
For the record, he said to go help him.
You see,
So, yeah.
as
Cobalt-
as you make this as well, and you take a look out into the field that you've got, what you see here is the orc has taken out another guard. He's fallen. The orc's looking kind of beaten and bloodied here, and he turns to face the next guard before turning to see the other 3 guards facing him. In a flurry, you can see this wolf from the back launch itself onto the back of this guard, standing right in front of him, and bites down hard on the guard, taking him out in a single surprise strike. Now taking a look at it, by your standards, this wolf is even taller than you.
So yeah, outside, Cobalt is going to yell to his compatriots inside. It's not a puppy, it's a dire wolf, and all I have is soap. And he will extend his arm out with the bar of soap in it. Like that's his weapon.
Okay. For narrative purposes, let's go ahead and jump forward ever so slightly with how this is going to go down. Dream, you are trying to either struggle with the door, getting it open, unlock it, whatever you need to do if you want to go out in the first place, but for now it's going to take you a second to get through the door. Kaiser is busy putting on his armor, and by the time this is over, he will have successfully donned his armor and he will be set and ready to go. The orc churns, takes out another one of the guards and then stares down the wolf, as the wolf takes out yet another guard. The orc shouts out, "Ha! Can't even keep control of your own damn pets, can you? I'll show you how it's done." And the orc runs up to the wolf, axe raised in his hand, before the wolf turns, bites deep and hard on the orc's arm, rips back down, and the orc is quite literally disarmed. He falls to the ground, unmoving. At this point, all that's left out here on the field for living is the wolf and one guard, as well as Cobalt.
Well,
The guard churns.
wait, what did he say about not being able to take care or take control of their own animals?
The guard turns to the wolf, and Cobalt, you can see the fear in this guard's eyes, facing down this creature that is just as large as even he is. And he turns to go and strike at him, out of fear and desperation with his sword. The wolf nimbly dodges to the side before lunging forward and grasping at the guard's neck, sinking his teeth in, shaking him ever so slightly before releasing the guard down limp onto the ground. The only ones left standing alive in this courtyard are you and this very large wolf. It turns to face you. A gentle snarl coming from its snout. Head low, moving ever so slowly towards you. Before you hear the strangest thing.
Well, before anything else, he's going to yell, "Byron Dash, I'm a friend, not food."
Yep. You shout that out, and in response, you hear the strangest thing. Tanuk, are you at your computer?
Yes, I am.
What do you say?
Rindesh or not, I need to know where Amelia is.
And with that, folks, we're going to break. Be back in just a couple minutes. Sit tight as we see where the rest of this goes. I'm excited.
Wah!
Orc dude. Just so he doesn't happen to do it
break.
later.
All right. And we are back. Thank you so much for the short break. Needed a chance to just go ahead and use the restroom, stretch our legs, and move about. How are my wayward adventurers feeling so far? We feeling energetic? Feeling okay to move on?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Tanuk, you still there?
I thought I spoke. I'm sorry.
You're okay. And my favorite tiger, how's the Bengali? How's the waking dream?
Doing all right for a little bit at least.
Good. We have a little bit more to go, so let's go ahead and jump right back into it. Where we left off just before the break, a very large, and as correctly identified by Cobalt before, dire wolf has entered into the fray, and now out in the yard there are littered dead bodies of guardsmen and the previous co-inhabitant of the prison, the orc, that has remained nameless and unfortunately will for now. The last thing that we ended up hearing was this wolf speak. And that wolf said,
Rindesh or not, I want to know where Amelia is.
"The floor is yours."
He's gonna yell in through the window. The wolf wants to know where Amelia is.
It's Amelia.
Where is Amelia? And I take a step forward and start growling threateningly.
I don't know. I was in the prison. Those guards were mean to me, and all I have is soap, and he fumbles through his pockets, and this piece of bread. If you want bread, I can give you the bread.
Yes. You are quite small for a humanoid.
The two of you inside the building. What are you up to?
Am I able to get the door open by now?
I'd say at this point, yes. You should be able to go ahead and open it up.
You said I
Then-
finally finished donning my armor.
Mm-hmm.
The only other thing I would do at that point is when I finish getting my armor on, Mason shield, my actual shield Mason, I'm going to get up here and move behind Waking Dream as he finishes opening the door.
Okay. The door is now open. I'll have you standing in the doorway to signify that.
There's more of you. That's why you humans never stuck. Are you a feline?
How observant of you. Now, who is this Amelia? Was that you're looking for?
Amelia. The brown-skinned woman. Graying hair. Smells of herbs.
Older lady?
The warden took her.
Warden. Who is the warden and where will I find him?
Very
We
creepy
bel-
looking guy with red eyes.
And we believe that he is in that building to the north.
I immediately turn and run to the door of the building to the north.
Mm-hmm. Effortlessly, you have the speed, no problem.
I actually slam into it, just, like with a shoulder, almost like a shoulder charge.
Mm-hmm.
Come out, the one they call Warden.
You hear no response from the other side. What would the rest of you like to do?
I'm just watching him charge up towards the door. I'm just, Kaiser's shaking his head. Just, everyone's charging. Does everyone here have a death wish as I move out into the courtyard?
Okay. About there? Okay.
Well, I certainly don't, and it appears that this canine might have things well under control, so we can... I don't know. Can't say that I feel right leaving him here.
I definitely
Uh,
don't.
I turn around and look at the other two. The small one. Is that one your offspring? You should leave. Take your young with you.
No, he's not mine.
I immediately go and try to start smelling around the door.
Okay.
I'm gonna run up to the door and fumble with the keys and see if I can unlock the door. I don't know if I have the key for it, so
Okay. Going up and trying to fumble around with the door, you realize that the door is not locked. Solidly held, so the slam echoed, but it's not locked. With the sniffing around the door, roll a investigation check with advantage because of your keen smell.
Say 17 total.
Okay. Around the cracks of the door, especially underneath, what you're getting is the faintest hint of incense? Something nice, but definitely an element of fire to it.
The moment that Kobold opens the door even slightly, I'm going to attack the door with my claws.
Okay. Effortlessly, and because it's now swinging, you manage to slam the door open. It rebounds against the inside of the wall, and you step into its space there. Large gash marks now filling the door. Dream, I still have you at the door here. Would you like to move?
Yes, so let's see. I'll move here.
Okay. There we go. And Kaiser, another chance for you to move.
Yeah. Seeing that they're going in through the door, and Kaiser will move up and between the wolf and Waking.
There we go.
And when he's within distance of the door, now before we all just start going charging in here,
Too late, charging in.
I'm going to detect magic.
Okay. You take the moment it takes to do detect magic. I assume not as a ritual, but as an instant cast.
Yes.
Okay. For about 30 feet out from you, you are now picking up any essence of magic that seems to be occurring in the area. As this wolf stumbles into the center of the carpet there, you do manage to get a ping off of your detect magic. It is radiating specifically off of Waking Dream, the wolf, and something just barely around the corner, which you can only just barely pick up because you're kind of looking in some crates over to your right. In fact, there seems to be 2 pings over to the right.
Careful, there's something magical in the crates.
Oh, and actually, because where he died, he was back here, pretty much in the center. There's a ping of magic coming off of the orc's body.
I look back and I see that Dream's the closest. I'm normally not one for this, but the orc has something on him as well. It might be of use if you want to take a look, Dream.
All right, I'll take a look.
Okay. Roll an investigation check for me.
$17.
17. one of the small belt pouches that he seemed to pick up with his gear earlier has a little bit of something rolling around inside of it. Doesn't seem to be too secure. You flip it open, and inside is a 6-sided dice. Other than that, doesn't seem to be anything of interest on him.
Unless you're wanting to go gambling, I don't think that he has anything of use.
Grab it anyway. Better safe than sorry.
All right, I'll pocket the die.
Okay. Go ahead and on your character sheet, write down magical die.
Speaking of that, what school of magic is emanating from it?
I want to say illusion.
Oh, that's hilarious. I might have been on the money on that.
I think you are actually, yeah. Okay. So, our Wolven character, you step and force yourself into this room, and you take a quick glance around you here. Inside, what you are able to pick out and see is a table set for 2 over on your left. The plates are there, and multiple utensils are spread about on top of it as well. There are several crates off to the right holding something, you assume, but all of them seem to be closed for the most part. There is a bed in the far distance in the back corner, the rug you're standing on, and another rug off against the back wall, and a desk in the far corner with several bits of paper strewn about it.
I am going sniffing about the room.
Roll me an investigation check, please.
Investigation. That is a 15 total.
Okay. With an investigation of 15, you can pick up the slight traces of the smell of cooked meat in the air, and it is coming from the plates. You gather with the decay of the smell and how faint it has become, this was probably someone's meal last evening.
Okay. Is there anything else? I mean, like, I'm going sniffing about the room, so it's not going to end at the plates. Like,
Yep.
I'm doing full investigation of the entire room.
Oh, okay. And you said 15?
Yep.
Okay. As you're going around the room, then you get the smell of that burning incense coming stronger from the rug in the back.
I'm going to sniff closer to the rug to double check that it's where it's coming from.
Mhm.
And once I've confirmed it, I'm going to take the rug, the edge of the rug in my teeth, and I'm going to flip it to my right side.
Okay. Sure enough, you flip it to your right side, and just faintly, the smell grows stronger, and almost as if you're seeing scent lines, if you will. You can somewhat see the outline of a square made out individually in the wooden flooring.
Okay. Do any of these incense smells smell familiar? Is there like a scent of herbs, any kind of scent of anything like that contained within?
There definitely is a sense of herb, but nothing that you're familiar with.
Okay. I'm going to turn back to, I assume that is Kaiser now standing in the doorway to the Dragonborn. And then, and I'm going to say, I would appreciate your help. And I start, like, scratching at the outlines of the door.
Kaiser, you see this large direwolf standing in front of you, turn and ask for help, and then start to scratch at the floor.
I'll be glad to help. Just give me one moment. And before I head over there, I want to... So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make my way around to it, but I want to head towards the direction where I'm pinging those senses of magic from the crates.
Sure thing.
What are you doing? I need help here.
Yeah, I know, but there's something in these crates that might be of use for us.
Will the other two like to enter into the room, stay outside? What we got for you two?
I will go ahead and enter, glance around.
Similarly, you pick up everything that was said before. The table set for two, what appears to be at this point some leftover stains as if the plates were never washed from last night's dinner, the crates that Kaiser is heading over to and starting to look around with, and the desk in the back, as well as now an overturned rug with a wolf scraping at the floor.
Okay, that was 15 feet. No, wait, that was more like 20 feet.
At this point, movement is free. There's no initiative order, there's no need to worry about how fast you're going. We're not in a combat situation, so feel free to describe what you'd like to do, and you guys can just pipe in and say what you'd like to do.
Okay. I'll advance towards the door and take a look at it. Is it locked?
Okay. I assume the door at the floor that he's scraping at?
Yes.
Okay. Taking a look at it, you can see that it doesn't seem to have any kind of a locking mechanism that you can plainly see. It is a very faint outline and is very well hidden. You wouldn't have actually been able to pick up for it if not for the wolf scratching around it. It almost looks as if it was individual boards that would have made up the floor pulled into a single trap door. So it's not even a proper square. It's offset with the boards blending much more easily into the floor itself. You can guess that you'd be able to get like a pointed object in between the crack that you're picking up on the front there to help pry it open, but outside of that, no visible locking mechanism that you can see.
Okay.
On that note, now that I'm further into the room, am I pinging anything else with my detect magic, or still just the two that you said I'm getting from the crate?
Still just the two you're getting from the crates.
Then yeah, Kaiser will approach those and check to see how the crates, if they're like shut, if they're locked, or what have you.
Sure. They are closed crates, but they are not difficult to open. They are not locked or anything of that nature. And should you wish, because you are pinging the magic off of them specifically, the items in particular would be very easy to locate should you open up the crates.
And cracking open the crates is what I would like to do.
Okay. Cracking open the crates and going immediately for the magical pings that you're getting, you see a small rolled up piece of paper and a set of goggles.
And what school of magic am I getting from those?
So the goggles are... Let's find out really fast. Giving off a sense of divination, and the paper is illusion.
All right, so not really being able to identify them at the immediate moment. I'm just gonna put them in my backpack for now.
Sure thing. Of other
And-
note, if you continue to look through the crates, I assume you do,
Yeah.
you're able to find very quickly a small pouch with a number of coins inside of it. Until you take it out and count, you're not 100% sure how much, and several portions of rations inside. The crates, that is, not the pouch.
Okay. Yeah, I'll take the pouch and I'll just sort of put it on my belt for now. I'll grab some of the rations, put those in my backpack, and then I'll leave the rest for now, and I'll worry about dividing stuff up later.
Okay,
And once I get done with that, I'll start making my way towards Dream and the wolf.
sounds good.
Well, while he's doing that, I'm gonna go over to Dream and our new wolf friend and try to, I guess, find a way to open this.
Sure. As stated before, it looks like you could probably shove something pointed as like a wedge to help wedge the door open, and it does seem like there is a gap towards the front.
Okay, I will stick a claw in and try to pry a board up.
The claw doesn't seem to get down far enough, unfortunately. You might need
Well, then
something a
I'm-
little longer.
Then I'm just gonna punch it.
Kill him.
You punch it. It bounces back. These are floorboards. They're a little bit more sturdy.
Kaiser will walk and sort of, that's probably not going to work, and I'll take out one of my crossbow bolts and try to wedge it in.
Sure. Give me a general dexterity check. It's not a high check on this one.
Thank God. Flat 16.
Yep, plenty. You're able to get it in there without accidentally shattering the haft of the arrow, or bolt in this case, and with a gentle lift, if you should wish to. Do you?
And I do.
Okay. The trapdoor lifts itself up. As the trapdoor lifts up, all four of you, more so the wolf that has joined you, are immediately assailed by a much stronger smell of burning incense. There also seems to be a hit of putrid, an acrid kind of smell to what's in there. It's not overtaking it, but it is certainly there, almost like an undertone to it. Underneath as well, there seems to be a spiral staircase leading downward.
I smelled death. Decay.
Then if we hope to find your friend, we'd better hurry.
Without another word, I immediately start descending this spiral staircase.
Okay.
I will follow right behind him.
Okay. For the other two?
I'll usher Cobalt along in front of me and sort of bring up the rear.
Okay. And Dream, you're heading down as well, I assume that?
Affirmative.
Okay. Let's go ahead then and get all of you down into the next map. Let's see how to do this, shall we? Do you guys see the new map?
No.
Okay.
No.
I gotta figure
No,
out
you-
how to get you
you-
to it.
The player banner, you have to click and drag that over to the map that you want us to be on.
Oh. So if I do that... Oh, the player banner. I see it. Done.
There we go.
Oh, this is fun.
This looks safe and sanitary.
Doesn't it? Entering in from the bottom here at the staircase, let's go ahead and I'll just drag in the tokens again. If I can. Yep, there we go. Figure out how to do this a little bit better next time.
Mm-hmm.
And there you are. First, second in the front, third and fourth. You all arrive
look
down
behind me.
here.
I see that the kobold is following behind me with the dragonborn behind them, and right after I ascend, I look above to the dragonborn and say, "Are you sure it is wise to bring your child down here?"
I'm not his kid.
Kaiser just kind of face palms and he's not my son. He's
You both
It's
shared
fine.
the same color, the same face, and you are not related.
completely different races, friend.
You can hear as you reach the bottom of the steps, the gentle, raspy, almost kind of voice of someone breathing heavily, deeper in. Looking out into this area, what you see in front of you are candles littered all across the floor of this cavern wall that seems to open up into what could only be described, as far as you can tell, as an underground dome. There seems to be stone facets carved into the walls in different areas, decorations, broken stone bits and pieces, and all the way up at the far back of it, an eerie red glowing magic circle surrounded by lit candles. Notably, every last one of these candles is burning purple. In front of the circle that is glowing and facing away from you is a very familiar warden that you saw before. And just beyond the warden, breathing heavily but still conscious and on the ground, is the old woman that was in the cell across from you. As you enter in, none of you were claiming to be stealthy. The warden turns and meets your gaze. Noticeably, he seems less pale, and his eyes have gone completely blood red, rather than just red. Pupils and irises, all of it is red. He turns to face you. Ah, I see you found your way out of your cages, my little lab rats. You brought this mangy beast with you. Be good little rodents and scurry back to your cells now. Go on.
I am not wasting a single second. The moment that I see Amelia and the blood red eyes that I was described to earlier by the kobold, everything that I need to know is here. I am running straight forward, full 40 feet, straight at this warden.
As you begin to move forward, I need you to go ahead and make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay. Natural 20
For a total.
for a total of 22.
22. you feel a sense of power come over you. A sense that in any other circumstance would have gone and rendered you motionless. But your drive, your will to get to her, pushes you forward. You break through the spell effect coming from the warden, even to his surprise, as you race forward 40 feet. And you can land right there.
Mm-hmm. I am immediately going for a full bite attack. I lunge forward, just straight in.
Okay. I'm going to let you get that bite because you caught him by surprise, and then we're rolling initiative.
So unfortunately, it is only a 12 to hit.
Not enough to hit. He nimbly dodges out of the way.
Okay.
Let's get initiative, fellas.
Fat rip. Kaiser rolled a 4.
Dream rolled a 7.
Okay.
I got a 14.
Okay.
I rolled a 19.
Okay. Kaiser, you got a 4, you said?
Yep.
Okay. Okay. So, first in the order, with a 20, is the warden. The warden turns and sees you try to bite at him. Such a shame. And I was so looking forward to watching you squirm. No matter. I must be off, but do enjoy your final moments with my latest creation. And he begins weaving a magical spell before a blackened void with trails of red emanating out of it appears immediately behind him. He takes one step into it before that black void closes upon itself and the warden is gone.
Forward.
He's lucky I used my full movement to get there.
All right. For the wolf, your turn, because we still haven't gotten your name.
I, standing there, teeth bared, I do the usual canine and then look over to my left to see Amelia. Amelia, come. And I go to guide her away from wherever this is.
Mm-hmm. She looks up and in response, raspy breath, so that only you can hear because she can't project very well. You foolish... Maka, you must go. It's not safe. What else would you like to do?
No, I took care of all of them. Come, let's go home.
Do you want to lift her and try to move with her?
No, but I will stand beside her in such a way, like I'll stand right beside her so that she can lean against me if she needs it.
To the left or to the front?
To her right, so to the left.
Okay. Cobalt, your turn.
this decision. But let's see, 5, 10, 15, 20. I will run up. I guess I'll double move and try to assist with helping her.
Okay. It is 45 to get to her, so...
Yeah.
Okay, so the two of you are there trying to help her get to her feet. Anything else?
I don't think there's anything else I can do.
Okay. Kaiser.
Let's see. So I'm going to move up to in front of Dream. No, like 1-2 squares in front of Dream. That should put me within range that I'm going to call out Kamada, guide my wisdoms, and I'm going to cast Healing Word on Amelia.
Okay. Go ahead and roll the healing for me.
I'm ready for it here. Spellcasting modifier. So that's 4. Eight, 9. So for 10 points of healing.
Very nice. With that, you see the life and vigor return to her face and to her general complexion. She looks to you across the room, Kaiser, as if to say thank you, and then looks at the other two next to her and looks straight up above her. Oh, I'm sorry. I misplaced it. Dream, you're up too. Because you went before Kaiser. I messed that up. That's my bad. I gotta set it so you guys can move your stuff too. I'll figure it out. So yeah, what you got?
Sorry, I'm heading 30 feet forward.
Okay.
And I'm going to look around, and is no one else going to question the fact that he said creation?
I was hoping he was just bluffing.
You wanted to give a look around. Go ahead and make a perception check for me.
While he's doing that, now that we're down here and we've moved more into the room, is my detect magic pinging anything since I still have it up?
21.
21 is good. To answer your question, Kaiser, the circle is pinging magic, but faint at this point. All of the candles seem to be giving off a very faint magical glow as well. So faint that reading what kind of magic is not even there anymore. It's so basic level that it's not recognizable. With 21 perception, you hear the flapping of large wings above you. Before all of a sudden, as soon as your turn is done, anything else you'd like to do?
Defensive position? Dodge action?
Which
Oh, no, wait. No, I already took an action to do my perception.
for the perception on this one, yeah, to take the time to look for it. From above, and I cannot make this noise, so I'm not going to attempt to, you hear a shrill shriek from up above Essentially, yes. Accompanied immediately after by a kind of warped voice. You must go! Run as far as you can! Swooping down from up above is what can only be described as an absolute monstrosity. What would appear to be large, leathery bat wings attached to an otherwise human form. The face contorted, shifting and twisted, a snout erupting from what appears to be normal flesh. From atop this beast's head, flowing red locks. Familiar, flowing red locks.
Fucking know it.
Yeah. Cobalt's gonna yell out in Elvish. We're your friends. You don't want to hurt us.
It lets out a second shriek, and from this distance, makes an attack against you, Dream. You see it swing its tail as two spines come flying off of it in your direction. The first one, 17 to hit.
That is a hit.
The second one, 15 to hit.
Miss.
Okay. One of these spikes hits you. It catches you off on the side, and it burns, while the other one goes wide as you narrowly manage to dive out of the way. The first quill coming at you deals 6 piercing damage and 5 fire.
Oh, that's not good.
It shrieks out once again. Back to the top of the order. Maka.
Without looking over, Amelia, can you walk?
Yes, I can, but that thing, what have they done to him?
I do not know. But if it is a contest of wills, I will win it. Get to the stairs. And I am going to run up to the creature. But I'm not going to attack because seeing that it is currently engaged with Dream, I am simply going to try to be a distraction, barking, like dancing, weaving back and forth, basically doing everything I can to get its attention.
Okay. Go ahead and make a intimidation using your strength as a modifier.
Natural 20 again for a total of 23.
Boy, with the 20s. Oh my goodness.
I have it right here if you want to come
No,
back.
I trust you full-heartedly because this isn't even damage. This is to get his attention. Sure
Like
enough.
He-Man, he has the power.
Sure enough, bouncing around and barking and just gaining the attention, this beast churns and looks at you, wings still flapping, but now its eyes and its ire is focused on you. This is not a face that you know, and it does not know you, so it turns its focus fully upon you. Anything else?
I don't know. I don't remember what I can do with my bonus action.
We'll go ahead and we'll move to Cobalt then, because I don't
go
think
ahead.
there's too much relevant that you
Yeah,
can
there's
do,
nothing
so-
else I can really do.
Okay. Cobalt,
Okay.
your turn.
Following with the wolf's plan of distracting him,
Mhm.
because clearly he's trying to distract him so that way Amelia can get away. Cobalt is going to run diagonally, so that way he is basically 3 squares to the left of the wolf.
Okay.
And I'm going to launch a firebolt at him.
Roll an attack.
So. Does a 16 hit?
Yes, it does. Go ahead and give me damage.
Okay. Wasn't sure that was going to.
Actually, the 16 does hit. However, as the fire erupts around its body, it seems 100% unfazed by it.
Oh. Rolling the damage is pointless.
Yep, sorry. I had to double check that.
Fuck it. I'm gonna blow a key point for another attack. And I'm going to... That fire didn't work. I'm going to throw one of his darts at it.
Okay. Go ahead and... Actually, a key point for the extra attack is what you're doing.
Yeah.
Because you didn't take the attack action on your turn, you cannot use a key point to gain an extra attack. With the spell cast, you're stuck with just that.
No, you're right.
Mm-hmm.
I have to physically attack to use the key.
Yes.
All right. I'm too far away to do that other trick. He's more than 10 feet away from me.
If you move 10
You know
feet,
what?
you'd get
I
right to him.
No, I can just move the 5 diagonally, so that way I'm 10 feet away from him.
Yep.
And again, Dragonic Cry. And I'm going to shove the bar of soap up at it and go, "You're dirty, you're dirty!"
Let's see. Is that a saving throw that I gotta make?
No. It's all enemies within 10 feet of me. Until the start of my next turn, allies have advantage rolls against those enemies who can hear me.
Okay. And you can do that how many times per long rest?
However, my proficiency bonus, so that is the last time I can do it.
Which is 2. Okay. So sure enough, until the end of your next turn, right?
Yes.
Okay. All attacks made against it have advantage. Okay. It is now Amelia's turn. She is going to go ahead and get up. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. She can get there, and that uses her full movement to do so. Dream, your turn.
All right. So, really quick clarification.
Sure.
For context for the audience, I'm actually playing something of Mercy's design.
Mm-hmm.
And the 2 cantrips that I used gave me planar motes.
Yes.
They are specifically my elemental ones that I got specially for my class,
Mm-hmm.
which means that for each of those castings, I actually got 2 motes. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay, just wanted to make sure.
Yep.
So I'm up to 4 motes right now. 2 air, 2
Grand
earth.
total. Correct.
I'm going to roll to attack.
Okay. Using the...
Using my whip.
Okay.
So... Oh, this is going to be fun. Well, I dropped to 2,
But because you
But I
have
got a
advantage.
20. But I got a 20.
Natural 20, let's go, okay.
And I am going to unleash.
Sounds good. Go ahead.
I'm going to unleash all 4 of my motes.
Which means that boosts it up to D6 for each of those, if I remember correctly.
Yep.
So you're going to be rolling the D4 for the whip, and then 4D6 to add on to.
And since I got a critical on my 20,
All of those
all my
dice
dice are
rolls. All of those dice rolls are doubled.
Okay, so for my first set of dice, I've got 16, 18 damage,
Okay, how much of that is the whip specifically?
3.
Okay. So far we've got 3 on the whip, and then 13 in force damage, yes?
Yes.
Okay.
And then 4 more from the whip,
Okay.
and 19 more force damage.
Okay. So that's going to be...
I also have a wisdom modifier that I get to add to that, so 3 more damage to the
Okay.
whip.
Yep, which the whip damage is increased there. So that goes up. It was that. Yes. Okay. So the way that breaks down, because of resistance, you'd still do a total of 36 points of damage. Which is nuts. But because you built it up and there wasn't a lot of downtime, not more than 10 minutes, you're golden. So yeah, that's 36 points of damage from the whip. As it connects, it latches on, and you feel the surge of energy come out from you as the elements of air and earth mix. Contrasting elements that shouldn't be able to combine, work with one another, yet somehow you force them to teeter on the edge as you force it down the length of your whip, and an explosion of magical energy happens, knocking this creature for a loop. You have hurt it significantly. Good job. What else you got?
Well, I don't think I actually have anything for a bonus action.
Yeah, and with that attack and everything, I think that wraps it up pretty nicely. All right, Kaiser, you're up.
So I saw that this thing just took a huge hit.
Oh yeah, it's reeling and you can tell.
Let's see here then. I'm still going to play it safe anyways. And Kaiser's going to snap his fingers, and right here in the square below the creature,
Mm-hmm.
his spiritual weapon is going to appear.
Okay. You get 1 attack when it pops out. I will go ahead and see if I have something here. What does your spiritual weapon look like?
It's just a long shaft with sort of a carved down hilt, and the blade itself is a long carved half moon.
So it's a sword of some kind.
Yes.
Okay. Let's go ahead and... I don't have something there. But I have something here. I know you said it's curved, but I'm going to grab just something for now, and we'll fill it in later. Let's go ahead and use that. little tough to see, but it's there.
And that was a 23 to hit as it came out.
Yeah, that'll hit. Roll me some damage. Will this look better? Let's find out. Yeah, that looks better.
Are you eight of mine? That's a
Roll me
6.
some damage.
Modifiers of 6. So that's 9 points of force damage then.
Okay. It is looking rough, but still flapping, still floating there.
And if I believe, that was just my bonus action.
That's correct.
Now, in regards to, it's been a minute, so you'll have to refresh my memory on this.
Yeah, that's
When
fine.
it comes to spell casting, when it comes to action spell casting, I can't use anything but a cantrip in that case after I've used a spell for bonus, right?
Correct.
Okay, that being the case, then Kaiser is going to just reach out and snap his fingers, and a pillar of radiant flame energy is going to descend upon him.
Okay.
A sacred flame. So
So
I will need a dexterity saving throw versus 13.
okay. With a +3 to a dex saving throw and advantage against magic, a 15 will succeed.
Righty, then that's no damage then.
Yep. That's your action. That's your bonus. Any movement?
Nope, I'm going to stay put right there, so that will be my turn.
Okay. It is now this creature's turn. It flaps its wings, pushing out air all around it, before launching itself up 10 feet in the air and moving back this way. You do not get an opportunity attack. Special ability. From this, it then decides to go ahead and unleash 2 more spines in your direction, Maka.
Okay.
The first spine coming off of its tail comes soaring towards you for a 15 to hit.
That does a hit.
And the second is a 21 to hit.
Yeah, that. No,
Uh-huh.
doesn't hit at all.
Yeah. First spine does 4 piercing and 3 fire for a total of 7. And the second one, 7 piercing and 4 fire for 11 on the second.
Should be a total of 19 between both attacks.
I said 11, and then it was... Yeah, because I rolled a 1, and that's 4. And yeah. So, yep. Okay. That is its turn. It is currently 10 feet in the air. Back to the top of the order. Maka, your turn.
Oh, and you see, like, you know, the you hear the canine cry of pain, the spine sticking out of one shoulder, but despite all of this, Maka runs forward to the front of this creature, well, below, but still in front of this creature.
Like here or here?
Actually in front of Kaiser.
Okay. So we'll say here.
Yes.
Okay.
And you said it was 10 feet in the air?
Yep. If you want to reach it, you have to jump.
Yep. That's what I was afraid of. Well, good thing I've got some jumping ability, I guess.
Doing his best Airbud impersonation.
Yeah, that's earbud impersonation, absolutely. So I'm going to make a leap and go for some ankles.
Okay. Give me an athletics check for the leap.
That is a 10 total.
Okay. With a 10 for a vertical jump, I'm pretty sure you'll get just enough with your size to be able to bite at the ankles. So you can go ahead and make an attack with your bite.
Okay. Well, technically this is a bite and grapple. I'm holding on. How do you want to do that?
It'll be just a grapple then, is what you're trying to do.
Okay.
So it's not going to do damage. You're just going to roll to beat the acrobatics or athletics check against you for a grapple.
That is for a acrobatics, you said?
Athletics.
Athletics.
Yeah.
Okay.
To do a grapple.
That's an 8.
With a natural 18 for a 21. Unfortunately, you miss on the grab. You manage to scrape against some of the ankle, but there seems to be a boot on his foot still, and it doesn't connect for damage, and it's just barely out of your reach. You're not able to grab, and you drop back down safely to the floor.
Okay. Yeah, that's all I can really that's all I can really do.
Sounds good. Cobalt, your turn.
I'm trying to remember if favored foe is a bonus action or not.
I think it was. Be on your character sheet. Let me take a look.
Oh, it's on a hit.
Oh, it's
so
on a hit.
I
Okay.
didn't hit.
Yeah, you didn't hit. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
That's it. Yep, that's it for me.
Okay. Cobalt, you're up. What's the little blue boy got for me?
I don't know if
Sorry,
you're muted.
I was muted. I'm sorry. I thought you were to describe my whole thing. I'm like, no one heard me. Hopefully not making our wolf angry, but I'm going to run up and basically jump off of him and to get this guy in the air and flurry of blows.
Okay. Does Maka resist?
No.
Okay, make an acrobatics check for me, because this is bouncing off of something and you're kind of working a little bit better with acrobatics, I would say.
Yes.
Mostly because, hold on. Did you hit any of the spines that are currently sticking out of me right now?
No.
Okay. Then no, the thing is I'm so, like, Baka is so focused that he would not even have registered that until the boot kicks him that this little kobold just kicked off of it. So it's sort of a surprise. It's like, what?
With a nat 20 on that,
Oh.
so giving me a 26.
Effortlessly, you manage to run up, launch yourself up off of the top of Maka, and kind of do a flip up in the air, and what seems almost momentarily, you feel, and the world around you seems to just feel as if you're floating right up in this thing's face.
Flurry of blows, and I'm going to punch it
Okay.
as much as I can.
Yep, so that was a movement to get up. I'm not going to count that as an action or anything. That was a movement to get you up there. And it was just a check against it. So this is your attack. Go ahead and roll for your attack.
I believe Flurry of Blows gives me basically 2 attacks.
Yeah, it'll give you an extra 2 on your bonus. So right now this is just your first attack. Regular attack action.
And till the end of my turn, so I have advantage on him.
Yep.
Thank God for that.
Just to play.
23.
Yep, 23 will hit. Just to play it safe, Maka, go ahead and roll another d20 for me and make another athletics check just to make sure. Actually, what is your plus to athletics?
Athletics is +2.
Yeah,
If I rolled
a nat 20.
12 for,
if you rolled a nat 20 on this other roll, you would have had advantage on that attack, so go ahead and just roll, see if you get a nat 20.
I didn't.
Okay. Continuing. What's the damage?
And this is going to be a cold strike.
Okay.
8 cold damage.
Okay.
Just for the first punch.
Yep. You land the strike, and it doesn't seem to do as much as you were hoping, but definitely still affected him.
Second strike.
Mm-hmm. So this is official flurry of blows. So now you've got these two going on.
Nat 20.
Go ahead and roll me some damage, sir.
The cold didn't work. The next strike is going to be electric.
Mm-hmm.
You can do it. It's electric.
Woogie, woogie, woogie.
That's 11 lightning damage.
And you got the crit already figured out with double dice?
Yes.
Okay. I can't say it the way I want to say it because that's copyrighted. So I can go ahead and say it in a different way. Cobalt, why don't you go ahead and paint me a picture? Tell me how you finish this thing off.
Hang on. Just for sanity's sake. Oh, son of a bitch. Okay. So, in the process of the third strike with advantage is also a nat 20.
Oh my god. Yeah, this thing ain't living.
So he went cold, lightning, and then acid.
Mm-hmm.
So his punches kept changing elements as he's going. So the cold he hit it once with the cold, reached in and sort of paused for the second one. So the second one was almost sort of a shocking grasp in a sense, tasering it, and then clocking him across the jaw with the poison, basically either breaking or melting his jaw.
Okay, so we're gonna say acid because poison.
Yeah.
It's immune to poison. So yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. So you leap up and propel yourself off of the back of this large direwolf in front of you, running up and, as I said before, almost seemingly floating in the middle of the air before an unseen number of strikes comes in against this creature. The first one to the chest, right under the rib cage, to cause it to fall down slightly. Your other hand reaching up to grab into the same spot you just hit, grasping and holding for just a moment before unleashing electricity, coursing through its entire body, its wings going stiff, and for that brief moment unable to keep itself in the air before finally you follow back through with a shot of acid coming right off of the bottom of your fist as you palm against the jaw that once was the jaw of Gilroy, and it takes the jaw completely off, shifting this mutated form of a beak and extended face and just snapping it off. The gore coming right out of it, now not having a face, is explicit. There's spray, there's drip. It's
God.
all over the place. And it's over you, for certain. before finally, all of this, which seems to be taking forever, and it's in slow motion almost for you, everyone realizes it's happening near instantaneously. The creature falls, slams into the ground, leaving a cloud of dust kicking up right in front of Maka. And this creature is no more. That is the end of combat, everybody.
Cobalt is going to start screaming he needs a bath.
You've already used that ability once this session.
Twice, actually.
It hasn't been a long rest.
There's nothing. There's no effect going from it. He's just complaining. I'm dirty. Ew, ew, ew.
Oh, goodness. The last thing that you hear in all of your heads as it lets out its last breath in your minds, you hear the voice of Gil. Thank you. Thank you.
May Zelu guide your soul to somewhere better, friend.
I limp over to Amelia.
Mm-hmm.
One paw sort of barely touching the ground, especially in the shoulder where that spine is sticking out. Are you better?
I am. The Kaiser was his name. He helped restore my vitality. I was able to move of my own accord. I'm feeling well again, as I was before. Thank you. But you are a foolish wolf. I told you to stay away.
I promised Emily that I would retrieve you.
Ah, the little one. She always did have a soft spot. Ever since she saw you.
One of the few. He turns to the other three of you. I thank you for your help.
You're welcome. But before you go anywhere, and Kaiser wants to move down to the wolf, we haven't got your name, friend. May we ask it?
It's one of the first times anyone has ever asked my name without making assumptions. My name is Maka Paitu, but you may call me Maka.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Maka. You may call me Kaiser, and as he does, and as he says that, he's going to put a hand down on Maka's back, and I want to put a healing touch on him.
So, cure wounds?
Yes.
What level?
Cure wounds. That's first.
Okay. Go ahead and roll that D8 plus your healing and plus the bonus that you get on top of that.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
10 points of healing.
Yep.
As the leftover spines begin to off, his body and clatter onto the floor, you see, he takes a moment to shake as a canine does. Such interesting magic. I, again, thank you for your help.
No problem. You fought hard to save your friend.
For the other three of you, for Waking Dream, Cobalt, and Kaiser, I would like you all to go ahead and roll either a nature, an arcana, or a religion check for me. Your choice. Just let me know which one.
Dream will be rolling Arcana.
Okay.
8.
Kaiser will be rolling religion.
Nature, then. Granted, it doesn't make much of a difference for me.
That is so 17 for me.
Okay.
Oh.
What'd you get?
With my +2, I've got 3.
It's a big wolf.
I'm covered in blood and ick, and he is just like pacing around, like shaking his hands, trying to flick it off.
You're a
I
bit
need
distracted.
myself. I need myself.
You're a bit distracted. Dream, you said you got an 8 on Arcana?
Affirmative.
Okay. You do know that something is up because it's a direwolf, but you don't know much about them, so you can't really say what kind of a situation is going on here. Kaiser, with a 17 on religion, you do know that in several religious texts it is written that dire animals are dire because they are man-eaters. They have consumed the flesh of intelligent beings. You also know that direwolves don't normally talk.
And, if I may add, druids who transform also can't talk while they're in their wild shape.
Not without assistance.
Yeah. Or high level.
But that would fall more toward an Arcana check rather than something
Would
else.
that be Arcana? Because I figured druid was also technically like religion-ish.
In some ways, but that's more Arcana in my eye.
Okay.
Religion is more focusing right now. What I'm trying to get is like the texts about the sins and whatnot that you would see of dire animals and all of that kind of thing.
Okay.
Do with that information as you will.
Kaiser, he notes it, and just sort of nods as Maka thanked him for the healing, and he's just going to file that information and put a pin in it. And with that nod, the next thing Kaiser wants to do is move up and approach Dream.
Okay.
And he's gonna sort of nod at him. Looks like you took a hell of a beating there, friend. Allow me to help, and I'm gonna put a hand on my shoulder and dump my last cure wounds on him.
Okay.
So 12 points of healing to Dream.
And that puts me back up to full.
Very nice.
That was definitely not pleasant.
It didn't look like it. And after dumping that and healing him, Kaiser just sort of stretches. Oh, I'm kind of feeling spent after that. Whew.
With that,
Can we go somewhere and get a bath?
Amelia speaks up. I agree. Somewhere other than here might be good. Washing is probably in order as well. It will be difficult to leave unless we go out through the woods. Heading back out the front gate will just take us back into town, and, well, we're all supposed to be prisoners, with Maka being the exception.
Say there's probably guards crawling for us at this point.
Then we should move quietly.
I'm quite experienced at evading the guards.
He is. He's been a...
Cobalt kind of just stops and goes, you ate the guards.
No, I did not. I simply...
Clarification. You bit the guards.
Correct. I only have my teeth to fight with. And perhaps also my claws, but they are not as useful.
We can discuss this while we're heading to the woods.
That we can. Maka has been a great help over the time that I've known him, and he knows these woods very well. It'd be good to follow him.
We can lead the way then.
And as we're going up the stairs, Maka turns to Amelia and goes, "And what did the red-eyed man do to you?"
Soon. Not yet. Let's get out of here first.
Very well.
As speaking of, as we're going to leave, Kaiser's actually going to walk over to Guild's body, and I'm going to collect it, put it over my shoulder, and carry it out with us.
Okay. That will slow you down.
That's fine.
Okay.
I
As
mean,
you
considering
all,
we're all walking, I'm not sure if that's gonna
it's really
really
not gonna, not impact too much. As you all go ahead and make your way up the spiral staircase once again into the warden's office, which you came from before, you are able to then go out from there and see outside into the main courtyard once again. From out here, the guards have not shown up yet. They are circling around the outside here to the east. They're watching the gate out there, making their motions, and by this point, the sun has gone down. You are under the cover of night. Following the lead, as was suggested, unless you wish to change, the lot of you head out to the west, find a reasonably sized gap in the fence that you can go ahead, squeeze, bend the bars, do as you need to push through, and disappear deep into the forested area off to the west. And with that,
we will have to double back in order to get to Amelia's home. But a little bit of travel will ensure that we don't meet the eyes of the guards.
That's fine. There's just, at some point, I would like to stop and give him a proper burial at least.
and with that,
Once we're out of range of the guards, of course.
with that, we are at time for our normal session. And that will conclude the inaugural episode and session for the campaign here set in Tethra.
Yay!
Yay!
That
So,
was
yeah.
fun.
Yeah, thank you guys for coming out. I hope everybody enjoyed. I hope the story is interesting so far. We've just started to dip our toes, and there are many things that I have planned to bring forward for the rest of you. But of course, there's always a little bit of a slow start as you get things going. You got to introduce the characters, get a good feel for them. I will go ahead and say that on the in-between, you will be able to go ahead and get a long rest. You will be able to have a proper burial for Gil as you wish to see fit. We can go ahead and move through that. And you are able, if you wish to, spend a little bit of time with the magical items that you were able to pick up and find. Should you wish to take a look and try to figure them out a little bit? I assume that's a yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Affirmative.
Oh, and speaking of, before we do go, the other thing I would like to do is count out that pouch of coins that I found as well.
25 gold.
And I want to split that amongst us.
Okay.
I have no need for such things.
Sure.
Sure.
I mean, I don't know. You might be a wolf, but just making sure.
Okay.
So
So,
Bolt looks down at whatever you give him and be like, does this mean I can buy food?
Yes,
Yes.
you can buy food. You won't get thrown in jail for it again.
So, splitting it 3 ways, the 25 is going to end up working out to be 8 gold each, with 1 gold piece left over.
I'll hold on to the extra gold as a finder's fee.
Okay.
That's fair.
No problem.
The items, as you spend a little bit of time with it, are the scroll, which you found. It is a scroll of disguise self. The dice is known as the charlatan's die. It is a common magic item, does require attunement, which is strange. And whenever you roll this 6-sided die, you can control which number it rolls.
Okay.
And
I don't
last-
have anything better to bond to, so I'll go ahead and attune to it.
Yeah, for now.
Yeah, I was going to say, Kaiser, he'll identify that one, but specifically, I would give that one back to him since he picked it
Okay.
up.
Now, do you have the identify spell?
I do not.
So you'll just have to spend some time attuning to it, messing around with it, and that's when you gain the information once you attune to it.
Yeah. That's
However, the goggles that you found are known as the goggles of object reading. This also requires attunement and is an uncommon item. It's a leather-framed goggles featuring purple crystal lenses. While wearing the goggles, you have advantage on Arcana checks made to reveal information about a creature or object you can see. In addition, you can cast the Identify spell using the goggles. Once you do so, you can't do so again until the next dawn.
The goggles, they do nothing.
The goggles, they do nothing.
Kaiser's just like, as he's, as he puts them on and figures it out, he's like, damn it, I should have done this before the dice.
So, and those are the magic items that you guys were able to gather. So, yeah, once again, thank you everybody for coming out. I want to give a big thank you once again, going from the top. Alan playing Cobalt tonight. Bengali playing Wake and Dream. Joey Avalon playing Kaiser. And Tanuki XP playing Makapaitu. I hope you guys look forward to our next session. We will be back 2 weeks from today. We are going to be doing this every other week on Saturday, same time, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard, 4 p.m. Pacific Time. And keep an eye out for some info on my channel here, because on the channel I'm going to be listing the YouTube link that I have to go to my channel, and I will be uploading this so you can all see the VOD on Monday.
And of course, before we go, we can't go without saying thanks to you as well for being our gracious host and DM, Mercy.
Oh, of course.
Yes, thank you.
Absolutely.
It's-
Thank you very much.
This is my jam, y'all. I'm having fun. This is what I want to do. I love it. So glad I finally got to do this.